Oh no, the cameras are on.
Wait, where did I go?
Oh
Am I
no,
just
Oh,
Bella,
no.
no, we missed you.
Wait.
Wait,
We're
No.
like
Well,
that
I'm
sickly
gone.
that I'm just
I'm
dead?
gone.
there we
Wait.
go. There we go.
Oh, Dune's gone.
Ah,
Only the
was more
highest
than-
production quality. Aren't you all glad you're subscribed to our Patreon? Goodness me, the finest. Okay, I believe everyone's on the right spot. Well, whoopsie. Hi, everybody. Come on in. That was because of me and Sam playing pranks on each other earlier with the Zoom. So that's entirely on me. I'll take that.
Sorry.
And it's all bad.
It's also part me.
We're just very
Just
funny.
sending everyone pop-ups.
Yeah, we're just very funny people, so it was just, we were just messing around. But hi everybody, welcome back to our Witchcraft and Wizardry campaign. Thank you so much for joining us. All of you saying worms in the chat, you're the real ones. We love you. And I hope you're doing really well. Today's episode is called The Founder's Tower and Dark Depths, so I'm feeling really optimistic about this. I'm feeling good, I'm feeling very safe. The energy that's being cultivated is quite warm and just like nice. But I hope you're doing really well. And we have continuously smashed the charity goal, which frightens me. So what happened was I went to Ed. I said lemon drops to the statue outside Ed's office. And I said, Ed, if we happen to reach £1,000, can we make the campaign go longer? And he went, yes. And then I went, that seems very easy. And he was like, what do you think I am? Some weird manipulative headmaster who like tells an 11-year-old what to do for a long time? Absolutely not. I'm just a cool guy. And I said, sorry, the last guy in this office was kind of strange. So there you go. So if you would like to see more of this campaign, if we reach our goal, maybe Ed would do that for us. And then maybe we'll just do this forever and ever and ever. But yeah, I'm having such a good time with all of you. And I would love for you all to introduce yourselves to the audience. D-Tune, would you like to tell everyone about yourself and what you do?
Hi, hello. I'm D-Tune. I do a lot of horror games on stream, twitch.tv/DTune, x-DTune everywhere else because D-Tune was taken. I do a lot of music stuff, and I'm just excited to be here.
I love having you here. Get out. And
Thank
Bella, what about you, my love?
hello, I'm Bella. I go by Yellow Spoon Girl and everything. I like talking and making stuff and oh god, a bunch of whatever.
There's a lot. She does a ton. You should watch her streams to see what she does. What if you did that?
Yeah,
That would be so wacky.
Just give me a follow. If you watch it and you hate it, just unfollow me and say something mean. It'll be fine. I hope you guys enjoyed this episode. It's gonna be great, but all because of the cast and Ed Spence.
Ed Spence. And also, how's your character doing, by the way, Bella? If you would be so
My
kind.
character is like falling apart. So let me -2 body, -2 mind, and I also feel like death in real life. So this is gonna be very easy to do.
It's just gonna be
I'm
role
excited.
playing it. It's all good.
How's your heart?
It's all good. And Mika, what about yourself, my love?
Hi, hello. My name is RIP Mika. I am a variety streamer on Twitch. I play a lot of scary games. My name's RIP Mika because I die in every game I play, but hopefully not this one. I'm also I'm vaxxed up, so if I start to get low energy, just give me a nudge. I'll drink some of this Red Bull. I'll give myself a little slap in the face, and we'll be back to normal. It'll be okay.
I was thinking, you know what I heard actually is that being slapped on the bottom actually helps with energy a lot better.
Do you mind
so
helping me with that, Harley?
Oh my god. Well,
That'd be great.
I wasn't even gonna say that at all, even a little bit.
They're in common room
I'll
getting
be
heated.
I think I'm gonna
on
get
my
a standing
way.
desk so that you'll have better access.
Oh,
I hate how I could take this further, but we're not going to because it's charity. So I'm like, hold it in, Harley, hold it in. Anyway, Ed, the poor GM that's saddled with all of us. Would you like to introduce yourself?
Yeah, I'm Ed. I'm thrilled to be back. I've also made far too much butterbeer, which I'm going to be drinking. It probably means I'm going to end up in some kind of sugar-induced coma by the end of the night.
Great.
But
Ooh.
it's tasty so far, and I have so much syrup. But I'll post the recipe for that in the Discord after this episode because it seems to work and it's quite nice.
Okay, I like that.
I want to
That's
try
fun.
that.
Mm.
I want that.
And Sam, looking very stylish today. I'm Smitten. Would you like to introduce yourself?
Yes, I am Sam, and I am fashion.
Oh.
My favorite part about this is always dressing Sizzle up. However, I like that we're still in like the second day and she's had 3 outfits. Very woman of her. So we love it. But I'm a variety caster. I tend to play more comfy cozy games. I actually am now making all of these characters in The Sims, and I'm building a house for them. I've got a
I
Ravenclaw
didn't
tower,
know this.
and I'm
I would
making
have come by in a minute, in a second. I had no idea.
Monday,
Monday.
8:30 a.m. PT, twitch.tv/Sam.
I will be
But
there.
yeah, that's me.
Yay! Thank you so much. And hi, I'm Holly, and wait. If you didn't see in the Discord, you're about to see it now. And then you're all gonna leave because I'm a nerd. So I have a TTRPG binder for all the TTRPGs I do and all the characters, and I have the sectioned
that's
off by
adorable.
like art. And I have dot section, and it's got usually I pulled it out today for like usage, but usually her character sheet is here, and then I have Dot Campbell class notes. And then because Ed very quickly said that we learned about Wiggenweld and Inferi yesterday, I made her class notes about those potions and that enemy, and I put it there just in case it ever comes up. And I also have my spell list, and I'm honestly ready to just be. I'm 25, by the way, so
You're incredible.
doing great. Pandemic's going great for me. But yeah, so
No,
I
you're
love
11. What are you talking about?
Yeah, I'm 11. What do you even mean? But I love Dot. I love this campaign so much. I also am a little bit under the weather today, but I'm so excited to be here, so I don't even mind, honestly. And also, thank you all so much for your donations so far. You're the bestest. Thank you so much to Night Wraith for the £5, Zenuppy for the £20, Thunder Cabbage for the £12.69, nice, and Unsocial Mia for the $5. Thank you so much. We really appreciate the support. Thank you so much. I hope you're doing amazingly. We do have if you tip £20, we will name an NPC after you at some point. Every time that comes through, I send it to Ed for usage. And also, if you donate £5, the increments of £5, we put it into your Hogwarts house for a cap of 50 per house per day. So if you tip £50, you can put £50 towards your house of your choice. If you tip £70, you can only put 50 points towards the house of your choice because we don't want them to just be like super unbalanced. And also you can have a chocolate frog with your name on it for £10, which hasn't been updated for today's stream, but I will give everyone who missed one super special chocolate frogs because I was unwell, so I couldn't do it. But yeah, so if you ever want house points to your house, please tell me in the Tiltify donation message or in chat afterwards, and the name of the thing that you want, just all of it, just put it in the Tiltify donation message, because some people were forgetting to yesterday and I got really stressed out and I was like, I want to make you a frog, but I don't, so anywho, that's all that stuff out of the way. I think I'm now going to hand over to the less control freaky of the two of us, Ed. How you doing?
I'm good. How are you doing? You okay? Yeah. Okay. Well,
I'm scared because we're in a tower.
Well, we will start in just a moment, but before we do, as ever, a huge shout out to Chris Iannitti, Wax Steven on Twitter for creating and adapting this incredible system that we're using, and to Facilian Studios for all of the music that you'll be hearing as well. So sit back, stock up on pumpkin pasties, and strap in as we delve into the wonderful world of Harry Potter in our 3rd episode of The Fifth House, in Chapter 4, The Founder's Tower. Previously, on the Fifth House. Having begun their first year at Hogwarts and sorted into their respective houses at the start of term feast, with Ezra and Violet sorted into Ravenclaw, and Magnus and Dot into Slytherin, the ceremony was halted when the sorting hat fell from Sissel's head, leaving her without a house and with strange visions. Confused at this, Professor Flitwick told her that while this had never happened before, they would place her in the same house as her brother Shannon, Ravenclaw. With the feast come to an end, the students were led to their respective common rooms, where they were met by their house ghosts. And as they screamed into the skies, and as the spirit of Helena Ravenclaw spoke of something dark on the horizon, they disappeared, leaving the students of Hogwarts alone once more. Settling in for the night within their dormitories, Dot woke from their slumber and heard hushed whispers from the Slytherin common room. Head of house Mina Bleakholm and headmistress Minerva McGonagall talking about the fact that the house ghosts were nowhere to be found, and that the sorting hat was catatonic and silent. Waking the next morning and discovering his phone was missing from his dormitory, Ezra found Sissel trying to console a very, very distraught Violet. Her toad bunny was gone. So heading down to meet with the others, and after picking up their post from the breakfast tables, the quintet began their day, learning about the dread Inferni in defense against the dark arts, brewing Wiggenweld potion and more besides, before eventually making their way towards the school Quidditch pitch for tryouts. Once there, while Dot and Ezra were amazed by the sight of students on broomsticks, Magnus decided to play a prank on his older brother, Ian, planning to slip him and another Slytherin team member called Brian separate love potions in hopes of putting them off their game. However, upon confronting his brother and Ian revealing that he was hoping to reverse Magnus's sorting into Slytherin, their conversation quickly developed into an argument between the two, and they parted ways, angry and bitter. But as the day wore on and dinner came to an end, Violet heard a familiar sound as the great hall filed out. Bunny's croak was emanating from behind the statue of Daedalus Dowerfellow, the architect of Hogwarts. Examining the bricks around it, the five were able to find a secret entrance, and their curiosity getting the better of them, they continued further in. Ascending a set of spiral stairs, they found themselves in a large, dark room with 5 large bookshelves, one filled with red tomes, another with green, one blue, another yellow, and the 5th entirely bare. And as their eyes fell upon a large pile of stolen items on the dusty floor, they realized they were not alone. Peeves, the poltergeist, was up in the rafters. And as you watch, seeing this diminutive fellow up in the wooden rafters, his orange tailcoat floating in the wind and his belled hat jingling as he looks at all of you with large orange eyes, what are you all doing?
Can I go pull off some tomes from the shelves?
Sure. Which ones are you wanting to look at specifically?
The Slytherin ones.
No.
Okay. So you go up to them, and as you do so, you hear Peeves continuing from above. Oh, what are you not doing here? I thought no students were allowed here.
I want to look up at Peeves. He's above us, right?
Yes, he is floating, and you see that he's holding something in his hand, something that is casting a very cold blue glow up at his face.
Oh. It's Peeves, isn't it? I believe I met you before.
Oh, yes! Are you looking for a house? I hear they're very difficult to come by.
Yeah, it does seem quite difficult. Which one were you sorted into?
Oh, I don't have a house. No, I go where I want.
Seems like we're similar then. Might I ask what you're doing here?
Well, if you must know, this is my place. This is my room. This is where I have my things, and this is where I have my alone time. Now go away. I'm playing this game about snakes. Oh, high score! And you see him clicking on a couple of buttons on a small device in his hand that, Ezra, as you look up, you recognize intently.
Is that my phone?
I'm gonna take my phone and just like speed dial Ezra's phone really quickly.
There is a brief doo-doo-doo-doo-doo, and Peeves just drops it onto the rafter beneath him and just goes, oh no, oh, what this? Oh, what did you call it, a phone?
That's mine. Why did you take that?
Well, I come and go as I please. I take what I want because this place is mine. Hogwarts is really my playing ground, really.
I kind of look over towards Magnus and kind of shout over, are ghosts usually this rude?
Don't really. I mean, Peeves is. but
Huh.
Well, for one thing, I'm not a ghost, am I? I'm a poltergeist, but it's an entirely different matter. I'll have you know, ghost, honestly.
I
Well,
have to say, the
Ghosts
Bloody Baron isn't this insufferable.
are
Yeah, well-
different than poltergeist. Okay, I got it. Thank you.
I mean,
Can I
I've
have my
got a
phone back?
phone as. I mean, he's dropped the phone, so you can scramble and grab it, I think. Because he's dropped it on the ground.
On the rafter.
Yeah, he dropped it. Oh, is it on the rafter or is it on the
It's on
ground?
the rafter.
Yeah, it's on the
Oh, it would
rafter.
break if it was on the ground, wouldn't it? The doy. Oh my goodness. Never mind. Sorry. I was gonna. All right. Well, I'm gonna hold my phone up to Peeves and be like, I mean, I've got a phone as well, but that's because my mum gave it to me. Usually, you just get given a phone. You don't take other people's ones. It kind of ruins the whole point of the phone. So. We could get you a phone if you want, if you could give us that one. We can get you your own phone for poltergeists, and then you could have like all of the teachers' numbers in it, and you can crank call them whenever you want.
While she's saying this, I want to pull out my wand and cast the spell Accio.
That's a year above us. Yeah, you get a -1, I think, on that. I
Okay,
think.
that's cool.
Roll a magic.
Cecil doesn't understand at all what they're talking about, but she's like, yeah, absolutely that.
Yeah, I think it's roll magic -1 because it's a year above us.
My magic is a +2.
Okay.
I got faith in you.
We have faith. We believe.
Dang. Bless.
Bless.
Sorry, I'm just scrolling down the chat because I've lost it. So, yeah, you point your wand up, and there is a brief wiggle on the rafter as you just see the phone just suddenly shoot across towards you, Magnus, and the rest of you watch as this phone darts across, and Peeves goes, "Oh no, hang on!" and it just flies across the room into Magnus's grasp.
It's yours, Ezra.
I whatever you did, I owe you, and thank you so much.
It's just a spell my my brother taught me here.
Okay.
He's gonna
thank you.
hand the phone to you.
So, you, little one with the glasses, and you see him looking at you, Dot. You said you could get me a phone.
Oh, yes. And Dot is feeling rather useless now because she was all like, I'll use my mind games, and then it was like magic, and she was like, oh, yeah. So basically, me and Ezra, we know exactly where to get phones. That's why we have them and no one else does. But we could totally get you a phone so that you could just do whatever you wanted with it if you wanted. So like,
Don't give him that phone. Don't give him a phone.
no, we're not gonna give him someone else's phone. We're gonna get him
Or
his own
any phone. He doesn't need to talk to people. I don't like this.
So, if we were to get you a phone, like, would you still be in this place? Like, what's in this place anyway that you would,
Frankly, it's the only place I can go where I can be alone. It's everything in here is so boring, boring, boring. It's just books, and so no one comes here.
Do you know where the missing books are? What was on the shelf?
What missing books? He looks over at the bookshelf. Oh, no idea.
So you've never seen them?
Well, and you see his,
I thought this was your room.
his expression falters a little bit at this question, and well, I suppose I must have done it one time or another. And Magnus, is there anything in particular that you're looking for as you pick up one of the green leather-bound tomes?
Not really. I feel like I would probably go towards my mother's year, one of them of being in Hogwarts.
So, looking along all of these and noticing the various years on them, you see that they don't go much beyond the 900s. They are very, very old books. And as you slide one of them out, dust sort of flies out into the space around you, and you leave finger marks on the ones to either side. They are heavy, heavy books. And as you bring one open, you read through it. And the English used inside is very, very old. You would wager probably medieval in nature. There is a lot of very archaic phrasing within it. But one thing becomes very apparent as you are reading through it. This is a journal. It is a personal journal. And it is the journal of Salazar Slytherin. And it is only one volume.
Yeah, no biggie. It's fine. Okay.
Can I take one from one of the other shelves just to confirm the thought process that I'm having?
Yeah, absolutely.
Godric Gryffindor's journals would be the red books.
You take one, and you are having to sort of balance them quite a bit. They are very heavy and quite substantial, but looking through, different writing, but yes, they are personal journals, all of them. Journals that seem, to your eye, to span through years, maybe even decades. And you notice that there are fewer tomes for Slytherin than there are the other three, but each of them seem to chart personal musings and different months and different years, but all of them are personal thoughts and recollections.
I think this room was used by the founders. Because these are journals from Salazar Slytherin. And the ones under Gryffindor, under the red, are Godric's. And I'd be willing to bet that those right there would be Rowena Ravenclaw.
I had that speech and pen when I was younger too, Magnus. It's all right.
And Helena Hufflepuff.
Yeah. Doesn't that kind of defeat the point of a journal if it's in a room where everybody can read it?
Well, they loved hearing their own words back to them. It's one of the most boring things about them, frankly.
Well, I think the bigger question is that empty bookcase.
Was there anybody else that used your room before you were here?
You're asking me?
Yeah, well, if it's your castle, obviously you would know everybody who went here. Obviously,
Yes, of course I do. Of
Right.
course I do. Well, I've been here since the school was first built. I know everything about this castle, more than old Cuthbert Binjuice does at any rate.
Did you ever see a battle between the founders?
A battle. And he bangs his forehead a little bit, and the bells jingle on his hat, and he, sorry, what were you saying?
Between the founders, was there ever a battle here? Potentially with a fifth person?
You know. It's very weird. And he starts to float down from the rafters until he's sitting cross-legged on the floor in front of you. And even as young and as short as you all are, there is something quite small and almost vulnerable about him as he floats down to the floor. It's like there's something missing.
I'd like to go over to the bookcase, where like the empty one, and try and see if I can see any like markings on the bookcase, or like any dust that's like in a certain area but isn't in other areas.
Okay. Make investigate check.
Okay. So
And as you're looking through the books, Magnus, and you're sort of comparing and contrasting some of the entries, you notice that at one point on Salazar Slytherin's, there are just blank pages before eventually it picks up again. And as you're looking through the Gryffindor ones as well, you notice that every so often there are words, sentences, sometimes even paragraphs where it's just a blank parchment, almost as though someone has rubbed out the ink itself. And there doesn't appear to be any rhyme or reason to this patterning, but it's something that you notice. And what did you roll? Sorry?
I rolled a 9.
A 9. Looking around, it looks as though these shelves have been left for a very, very long time. There is neither fingerprint nor any kind of marking on it, really. it looks as though whatever used to be on these shelves was probably removed a very long time ago. And it hasn't been touched in, you would wager, given the dust, almost centuries.
Okay.
Now, Peeves, correct me if I'm wrong, but poltergeists can't eat, can they?
No, I don't need to.
Then why do you have snacks up here if you haven't seen it, if it's only been you in this room?
Oh, well, it's just funny, isn't it? People bringing all these sweets that they've spent their hard-earned galleons on. I just... Yeah. Well, he looks
You're a
over at
collector.
them.
You nicked them.
Yes. I like the way the wrappers shine.
I'm going to take one of the sweets and give it to V. Just...
Wow, what is this?
Well, it's what kind of, I look at the wrapper and what kind of sweet is it?
It is... Let me just remind myself what sweets there are. It is a... licorice
I don't know, I
ones.
have
Some
peanuts.
licorice ones.
It's a licorice wand. It's a licorice
Licorice Ron Weasley.
licorice wand. If you wanted it.
So if I eat it, will I be getting a power?
No, it's just like licorice.
And I'm not gonna eat it unless I get a power out of it because it's a wand.
But
Get an energy power.
you haven't eaten anything.
What's an energy power?
Like
it peps you up. It's a little pep in your step.
You'll be able to do more things.
Okay,
Yeah.
that's fine. Okay, I'll eat it.
I give her the licorice wand. Feed.
Just like high five secretly.
I want to ask Peeves a quick question. So, we came in behind the statue. Is there another entrance to this room? Or perhaps another exit?
No. Not as far as I'm aware. You used to be a door.
Used to be.
There did. And I want to look at the blank stone wall. So I told y'all about the vision that I had with the hat. And I don't know how to activate it, but there's meant to be an iron and wooden door with this wall. However, behind it, I don't know what it is. I only heard. It was a lot of screams. So I don't know.
We've come this far. I kind of want to know what's behind the door. You know, for research purposes, and then we could write it, and then if we have to report it back to somebody, then we'll have writing, and then we can do that.
Well, we're not supposed to be here though, so if we reported that we were here, aren't we going to lose house points?
Oh yeah.
I'm more nervous to lose my life, I think.
Oh, there's that too.
Well, I mean, I suppose, yeah. We
Can
get
I-
out of it, but you know.
Can
potentially
Ezra
can't
ask
get out of.
Peeves a question?
Yeah.
Peeves, have you ever heard screaming or noises around your lovely room?
Well, not around here.
And this is your room, correct?
This is my room. Yes.
And you're very proud of your room.
Well, I mean, technically, it didn't always belong to me.
Whose room was it before? Did you steal this room? Like you stole my phone?
No, he probably like inherited it, I bet, instead. I say trying to diffuse.
Like my phone?
Like my phone!
Over to you, Dot, and just... Where's where the founders used to come? Jot everything down before...
For what?
You okay?
You can do it. You've got it.
I remember the screaming. I remember. Oh God. And suddenly he looks at all of you, his eyes wide. Someone came in here. Someone came in here and found me. And they didn't want me to remember. So are you going to bore me all evening?
No, we were just gonna try and get in the door that you were talking about, right, Sissy?
Yeah, I just don't know how. Dot, how did you open the statue?
I just looked around and I found do you know an Indiana? No, you wouldn't. Okay. Do you have cinema in the Wizarding World? Do you watch movies?
Like moving pictures and stuff? I look at my family's albums all the time.
No, it's like Indiana Jones.
Is
Lord
that a
of the
great
Rings?
episode?
Oh my god, you are going to have the most fun summer break with us. Well, okay. Well, there's this... Imagine like lots of different moving pictures one after the other, but you can also hear them talking, but they're pretending like it's a play, right? So it's like a recorded play. There's one that Muggles watch called Indiana Jones, and there's this one part where he presses onto a plate and it like moves other things around and stuff, and it's in like every video game ever, and you don't know what those are either. Anyway, so I looked around for a tile that looked different to the other ones, and I just pressed it, and which is weirdly simple when I think about it. So I'm hoping maybe this door is like that too, but I can look around if you want. But yeah, it's easier than you think. I think you could do it.
Yeah, can we look for a symbol?
Yeah, sure. Everyone make an
Investigation.
What is that?
I got an
Mind?
8. Yeah.
Mind.
Yeah.
Peeves?
Is it slash
Peeves,
roll?
when you said they came in here and found you, were you alive at that time or were you already dead?
I've never been alive. I've never been dead. I just am. I came here when the school came here.
Right.
Like I say, it is my school.
Yeah, of course. Bella, what did you roll for your investigate? We're killing it. Oh my gosh.
Ooh.
Okay, let's go. All right.
Okay, so looking around the room, most of it is comprised by bookshelves. And as you're sort of searching the brickwork, and as Peeves continues to sit there, cross-legged on the floor, his hat drooping ever so slightly as he looks around, slightly confused, you get the sense. As you continue looking around, you find nothing. You are moving around the room, pressing various bricks, and Dot, occasionally you point out in the direction of some which look as though they might be shaped in a slightly different way, learning as you have all of those lessons from the films of your childhood. But Sissel, as you are making your way around the room, you think more on the visions that you received during the sorting ceremony when the hat was upon your head. And looking around, you realize the door you saw coming and forming out of stone, it was awash with sunlight. And as you look around, seeing for anywhere that sun might come in, you realize that this room, being windowless, other than your wands, is entirely dark.
So I just had something I remembered. In the vision, the door that appeared in this wall, there was sunlight on it. However, looking around, there's no sunlight available. So we could potentially cast a spell that has light. and see if that works.
I mean, I hope so. I don't know if...
So hear me out. What if I try to use my phone?
Oh!
There's a little light that will turn on. It's kind of like the wand spell.
I'd rather that, because I heard that if you fail your spells, you can jinx yourself, and I trust all of you with that better than me and Ezra. No offense, Ezra, just because we're...
Is the light going to hurt us?
No, it's
just like that. Is that...
a flashlight?
Others have been able to use magic.
No, it's just like a flashlight. You can just
It's just a
and I could just
light.
I don't need to say anything.
Is that like a little wand?
I guess these are the wands of us.
No, it's going to
muggles?
confuse them. Don't say that. Don't say that.
Okay.
That's going to confuse them. It's just like it's like a candle. It's like an electronic candle inside of your phone, like a lantern.
Why would you still use candles though?
Okay, we don't. We use. Okay. Well, if you wizards are so cool, all right. Do you want to just cast
Let's
the
use
lighties?
your phone.
Okay.
Can we?
But
Okay,
maybe
we
it
can
won't be
try.
enough.
Phone.
Maybe you should help us with other things, because this.
Let's try.
I mean, okay. I don't know if it's gonna work by itself, but all right.
So you shine your torches around, and as you do so, you see that Peeves suddenly perks up a little bit and seems to just be following them with his eyes, almost like a cat, as he just goes, "Oh my, that is very pretty." And you continue shining your torches around the room. This continues for around half an hour. You find nothing. The gaps between each of the bookshelves are very, very small, and you get the impression, Cecil, rather, that the door you saw was rather larger, and that it is entirely possible that it may not even reside within this room at all.
What if my vision's a little off and the door's not even in here?
I mean, that.
Because it's a big door, I don't think we'd miss it.
I mean, all the stone walls look the same to me, so that wouldn't really surprise me.
That's fair.
And there's, I mean, I don't know much about magic, but I don't know if we could cast what would look like sunlight.
Yeah, this Lumos, but I don't think that, that's not like sunlight. That's just like light. But how did you know it was this room? Like, what did the room with the door in it look like? Did it look like this?
All I can recall is this room, and exactly with the bookshelves and the table in the center. And then I had a vision of a blank stone wall.
Oh.
So I put two and two together that they would be a part of this room.
I would do the same thing. I would do the same thing. I just maybe it is somewhere different. Huh.
Peeves, are there any rooms that people don't tend to access a lot, where there's a big stone wall that sunlight could hit, like a window is coming through? Anyway,
Over the place, really, especially in summer.
Is there one that comes out because of the sunlight? Because you'd obviously know this.
Well, obviously I would, yes.
Yeah, of course. So like,
I'm very clever. But not that I can recall.
dang.
Why are you making me remember all of these things? And he just begins to float into the air. Oh. Please go away.
Before we go, can you tell us how to get out?
oh yeah, the door closed behind us.
Oh, the passage. Oh. Well, usually I just float out, but at the end.
Why can't you just open the door?
Oh no. What? Last time they. Oh, last time they. Oh. Ugh.
Spit it out!
There's a torch at the end of the corridor. Pull it and the statue will open.
Okay.
Thank you. That's
Thank
that's
you.
not even hard to do or say. Thank you. Do you have more licorice or a present you want to give me before I say goodbye?
Take anything you want, just...
Okay, I'm taking it all. Thank you.
I'm gonna take one of the I'm gonna eeny miny mo the Slytherin journals and take one. No, actually, a Gryffindor one instead.
Okay.
Can I take the Ravenclaw
Slytherin one.
journal?
I'm going to take a Hufflepuff one because no one else grabbed one, and I feel bad for Hufflepuff because no one wanted one. So I was like, I'll
No,
take
that
one
could
of
be
these.
useful.
In my possession, I now have one Godric Gryffindor journal.
As
One
you
Ravenclaw journal.
walk around taking these, you notice, Violet, that Peeves is looking at you, or rather specifically at the creature that you are holding. Are you taking the toad then?
This is mine. Are you the one that took my? If I found out you're the one that took Bunny,
No.
I'm gonna beat you up.
No, she.
I'm gonna beat you up, and so will Ezra because he's my best. They're my best friend, and we're all gonna.
No, the toad followed me. But
Do you promise?
I guess.
You guess. That doesn't sound like a good promise.
Yes.
Okay, then I'll believe you. I'll draw you a picture of Bunny, and so you can have a paper version. Okay, just chill and tell us how to leave sooner. You're just kind of
he did.
annoying
It's
as
just
an
a-
adult.
We just gotta pull a torch, so he did tell us.
I mean, if
You could have told us that sooner.
the toad wants to come back at any point.
No. I told Bunny she can't go back here ever. Grounded from this dusty, nasty room.
All right, fine. But you still owe me a phone.
Yeah.
Yes.
Got it written down.
Okay, good. And he just sits up on the rafters and looks down at all of you.
I'm gonna leave last and like walk like backwards out of the room, so I'm keeping an eye on him.
Dot, don't give him a phone. Or we can give him a fake one.
He's got like really weird ears.
If anyone else comes into this room, will you let me know? I can give you some shiny things in payment for being a watch guard.
Ooh. What sort of shiny things?
Maybe a sickle or a nut.
Ooh. I love nuts. All right. Yes. Deal.
Walk out.
Yeah. Sissel walked out first. She was like, I'm getting out of here. I don't like it.
I'm like soccer leaving the building, so it's like worms.
As you're walking out, Dot, you see Peeves just look over at you one last time.
You're asking a lot of questions for first years.
That's what school's for, isn't it? They're to learn. So.
And pranks. Lots of pranks.
Yeah, and Dot feels herself getting very into that, but is like, I am gonna go. I gotta leave.
All right. Bye-bye.
And with that, you make your way out, leaving this strange circular room of books behind you. You head down the stairs and out through the tunnel until eventually, one still alight, you come to the end and you see torches along and one still burning at the end from when you entered.
I mean, that's probably the one that he meant, right?
Yeah, I would assume so. Is it safe to pull it while it's lit?
I can do it. I'm just gonna put my arm out immediately. Just grab it, pull it.
Not.
You just reach up and you have to really stand on your tiptoes to do it, but you just... And there is another... As the statue just slowly moves to one side,
I'm just gonna...
revealing the large, empty entrance hall of Hogwarts.
I just look at Cecil. Probably magic fire thing.
Oh well. Sissel peeks out and she's like looking around, making sure the coast is clear. She's like, come on. They all tiptoe out.
I mean, if you're trying to be quiet.
Yeah, we are trying to be quiet. Yeah, we are.
Oh, okay.
So,
Let's roll.
if everyone can make a quick and quiet move for me, please.
Where is my...
Body,
5?
No.
That's my skill as well. I got a nat
Is that
1.
body?
Yeah, it's body.
Yes, it is. Mine's gonna be so bad.
Yeah.
What's a fail again, Ed? Isn't a 5 or a 4 a fail?
It's a 6 and below. So.
Okay, cool. Just want that experience again. Don't
You guys
mind
are
me.
like tripping everywhere. Meanwhile, Magnus is just like
gliding out on wheelies, on heelys.
So
Sissel falls first.
I fall on top of you, and it's just...
as you collapse over one another, and the other 3 of you turn back, seeing Sissel and Dot just falling down on the carpeted floor, the statue just closes behind you, and once again the golden figure just stands over you, Hogwarts in his hand and the 4 animals around his base. But as it comes to a stop, you hear another sound.
What is it, my love?
And you hear a as all of you suddenly turn and hear Filch, and you see atop the stairs a large hunched shadow coming around the corner. What are you all doing?
it's
Ezra-
definitely past cure for you, right?
It is, yes.
I hate that for
Ezra, yeah, Ezra immediately plugs their nose, just remembering the stench of the breath.
Thought we should go.
I am going to cast in the opposite direction of where Magnus is encouraging me to go. Can I cast the Bewitched Snowballs charm to try and like just be flinging snowballs off into the distance?
You can roll a magic check and we'll see how that goes.
Oh no.
I do enjoy how Magnus is like, Dot, come here, let's walk this way. And I'm like, I will come.
It's been a day. I know all the magic.
3!
Oh.
Oh no.
No, oh no.
Can I I see how badly this is gonna go and cast a spell too.
It's gonna go really
All right,
badly.
let's
Just a
just
heads
full
up
commit.
on that one.
So Dot takes a condition.
Oh
So,
no! Oh no! What do I take?
I am going to say, as you point your wand in the direction where you want to cast the spell, you see white flakes begin to erupt round the tip of your wand, and it slowly begins to move outwards, forming white balls just floating in the air. And you all watch as they suddenly reverse and just all of them hit into Dot. And you are used to warmer climes, Dot, and you are suddenly hit with freezing temperatures. I will say you are probably dazed, so -2 to mind, as you just, and you are shivering and your lips are almost blue immediately. Magnus, what are you doing?
I'd like to cast the Slippery Jinx on the staircase.
Okay.
And if that doesn't work, I'm gonna cast something too.
And if that doesn't work, I'm gonna cast
We're getting
something
outta
too. We're just doing it.
Oh no, Magnus
I rolled
just
a 12.
killed it.
So
Okay.
Magnus, looking at your friend, and you just point your wand in the direction of the stairs, and you see that all across its red carpeted surface and over the marble steps, a slick, oily sheen casts over it all, seeming to drip down almost like oil in water. And there is a moment, and you see this tiny little tabby cat flying down the stairs, and then there is followed by a, oh no, my, and you see the shadow of this, and you hear something hit the bottom of the stairs. You are just about out of sight. What are you all doing?
I'm
as you
following
hear
Magnus.
Filch
Get
falling?
to your houses. If you
Running.
get caught, you're the one who cast that. Goodbye. I'll see you in the morning. And I'm gonna run.
I'm running after Magnus.
I grab V's arm because I know she's still like a little out there, and so we're running.
Okay.
Whoa!
Ezra, get her!
I'm also running. How is Dot doing during this?
I'm running after Magnus. I'm just freezing, but I'm running after
I
Magnus.
will probably have grabbed the sleeve of Dot's
Okay.
cardigan and dragged her with me.
Okay, it's old. It's half broken. Could you not? So I move my arm down so you're holding my wrist instead.
You're about to be half broken, Dot. Come on.
Ezra is the last one to take off because I'm just looking in awe of what just happened. Just knowing at the smelly breath person finally is getting a little bit of what they deserve. So I'm just like, nice. And
I
I'm
turn around to see you so far. I'm like, Ezra.
Well, I gotta go. I jot it down in my notebook as I'm running.
So you rush off to your respective houses. Magnus and Dot down to the Slithering Dungeons, and the rest of you up to Ravenclaw Tower until you find yourselves in your respective common rooms. So, Sissel, Violet, and Ezra, as you arrive into the common room, is there anything you're wanting to do before bed?
Ezra, can we open our journals that we both picked from both of the houses?
Yeah.
I want to see if any of them have any mention of a fifth person.
So I don't know anything about this, so I'm going to trust you with this. I don't know who the leader of Hufflepuff is, or the fathers or the founders presidents. I don't. Here.
They were friends.
You can have this.
Thank you. It's heavy. She's holding two of them now. Thanks.
So, which two do you have again? Sorry.
I have Ravenclaw and Hufflepuff.
Okay, so as you open this up, I'll say make an investigate roll to see how much you can.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so is there anything in particular that you would like to look for?
Yes, I would like to look for any mentions or indications of a potential fifth person that they were maybe making the school with, but it didn't work out.
Okay, so looking through, it's very difficult to decipher between the particularly Helga Hufflepuff's writing is very, very scrawly and very stained, and you swear that you see sort of dirt stains over many of the pages, which renders a lot of them very illegible. But as you're looking through them, particularly the two of these tomes, including Rowena Ravenclaw with her more scholarly italicized writing, one of the things that becomes very apparent is they mention one another a lot in their books. And these two books in particular, the tomes that you've picked, seem to chart very early days of not only Hogwarts itself, but of their friendship. The two of them seem to have been almost inseparable. They mention one another a lot. They mention how they set up the gardens and how students were accepted in the first days of this particular year's term. You find no mentions of a fifth individual. What you do find, however, much as Magnus did in this Founder's Tower you discovered, is there are some sentences, words, paragraphs, and entire pages that are entirely blank. And on Helga Hufflepuff's especially, this is particularly odd, as these pages are as stained and as worn as the others in the book. There is simply no writing.
Okay. So, well, I can tell that Helga and Rowena were best friends. However, if you look here, and I shovel over to both of them and showing them the book, these are blank, but they're not dirty or anything, which makes me believe that somebody cast a spell on them to remove the text.
Can you rip them out and give me so I can draw something?
I have paper upstairs for
Just
you.
rip me some pages. I can do it myself. I'm good at it. I do it all the time.
Maybe not these ones, V. I have lots of parchment
But
upstairs.
it's blank page, so I can draw something on it. I can draw you.
I would very much like that. However, I think we need to keep these ones safe. At least until we can compare with what Magnus and Dot have.
Okay, whatever.
Thank you.
Is there spells to make words disappear from paper?
I believe so. I don't know them myself, but I believe so.
Spells to bring them back? Like so with my phone, if I type something that I don't want and then I delete it and then I could hit undo and it'll bring it back. Is there an undo?
That is something that I am not quite sure of, but we can maybe ask somebody. Maybe I can ask my brother actually, but we have to wait till tomorrow. I don't want to go wake him.
What if we just look really close at the paper with magnifying glass? Because maybe an ant was writing on that page.
You could absolutely do that. Go right ahead.
Okay, if I find a magnifying glass, maybe Magnus has one because that's what their name is, anyways.
Maybe. So, we should probably get rest so that we can see them again tomorrow and before Filch shows up again.
Okay.
So, are you all headed to bed, the three of you?
Yeah. Before I go to sleep, can I read my parents' letter?
You can, absolutely. So, heading up to your respective dormitories, and Violet, as you are getting ready for bed, you see Danny next to you, getting under the covers, and she looks across and, oh, I see you found Bunny.
Yeah, I did. It's been a very long day. I'm sorry we haven't hung out.
It's okay. You look very tired.
I am. I'm beat.
Okay. Well, try not to have any scary dreams, because
Do you have any stories for me? Before I sleep, I like hearing a story. What do you have for me?
Well, I can tell you the story of, have you heard the one about the Jabberwocky?
No, what's that?
Okay. And she sits up in her bed and just starts to recite. 'Twas brillig. And over the course of the next couple of minutes, you slowly begin to sort of drift off a little bit, the crash of the entire day getting to you. And Sissel, as you sit on your bed, you hear this sort of in your periphery as you start to read your letter. And it simply reads the following. Dear Sissel, we received a letter from Professor Flitwick last night explaining what happened during the sorting ceremony. We're so sorry that your first day has been so difficult. Professor Flitwick has assured us that you are welcome to stay in Ravenclaw, as has been family tradition, but we are prepared to come and get you if you would like. We can defer you a year and try again next September, or look to get you more schooling at home. It is entirely up to you, whatever makes you feel most safe. Let us know if there's anything we can do. Please keep in touch. We are here for anything you need, as is your brother. All our love, Mum and Dad.
I want to write back and just let them know it hasn't been bad. I'm actually doing well, and Shannon has been taking good care of me, and I've got great friends. So basically just all of that, and then at the end, I love y'all very much, Sissel.
Okay. And Ezra, is there anything that you want to do before going to sleep?
So Ezra is just kind of sitting by the window again, writing in their journal, trying to recap everything. Ghosts are not poltergeists. Slippery stairs is a spell, ? And beware of snowballs. And then the last thing Ezra does before bed is text Dot and says, thanks for being my friend. Can't wait for tomorrow. And then send sex and go to bed.
As you look through your text, you are horrified to see that all of your sent messages, seemingly to every single contact in your list, there are just poo emojis all the way down. And you sort of God's sake. This is probably something to be sorted another day. It's been a very, very long one.
Yes. Sees it, is in shock and confused, and just says, "OMG, Dot, I'm so sorry, by the way," and then just like throws the phone on the nightstand and lays down, just kind of mortified, thinking of all of the people I have to message back, saying sorry for poop.
So, down in the Slytherin dungeons, as the winds continue to whistle around Ravenclaw Tower, Magnus and Dot, what are you doing?
So I'm going to get in and just like I'm gonna just immediately go upstairs to the girls' dorm. Pat Bimby, check to Bimby's not hungry. And I'm gonna put the book like underneath my pillow, and then I'm like skitter back down to the common room and just hope that Magnus is still there, or that I can somehow get Magnus's attention.
As you go to your dormitory, you notice that Bimby is absolutely fine. Just sort of making themselves very much at home. And you see has even made friends with another Slytherin's cat, a small ginger cat with black spots on their nose, who you know is called Sammy, belonging to one of the other students. And Bimby is just, as the two of them just sort of plays around the much larger cat's legs, but they're just sort of bopping one another's noses. But you return to Magnus.
Magnus would have almost done the exact same, but as he's going to put the tome in a safe place in his dorm area, he's gonna remember this might be a bad idea. Oh, no. He's gonna remember a story that his parents always told he and Ian when he was younger, about how when his mom met his dad, she cast the spell Revelio on him to make sure that he actually was as perfect for her as he was.
Okay.
And Magnus, knowing how advanced this spell is still going to like look around, make sure no one's in the room, and then try to cast Revelio, a level 7 spell.
Yeah, go for it. So that's
why not?
It's a -6, I believe.
+2 because I have a +2 magic, so only a -4.
Yeah.
All right, YOLO.
What?
No, you did +4.
No.
That...
Oh, shoot. You're right. But that's still...
It's still 11, right?
9.
Yeah, it's still 9. Yeah.
So, you cast it. I think, hang on, I think there is one... So you can choose one side effect. Either it's diminished, someone is alerted, or your wand is thrown and lands nearby.
Throw my wand.
Okay.
Get that thing out of here.
Get out.
So as you cast the spell, your wand shakes somewhat in your hand as you just try and control it as best you can, and then there is just and it is almost as though a static shock goes through your wand as you just and it flies across the dormitory and onto the ground. But you have cast the spell. So, you're casting it on the book, I'm assuming?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So, casting it on the pages. Is it the Slytherin one you're wanting to?
Mm-hmm. Dot put the Gryffindor one under her pillow.
Okay.
So I have the Slytherin one.
So, that changes things somewhat. So, as you cast this spell upon the book, you watch as long snake-like writing begins to appear on the page. It is like a Rorschach test being brought into being in front of you. And as you flick through the pages, and this is a very lengthy tome, and it is full of very old and very archaic language, you see that in certain smaller portions where writing was missing, 2 words keep cropping up. Or rather a name. Daedalus Dowerfellow. And it speaks of this individual. and the friendship that he shared with the other 4 founders as the architect of Hogwarts and its 5th founder. And you look through it, flicking through it as you see pages manifesting in front of you. This individual, it appears, was there at the beginning. Now bear in mind, this is only a year, and it is after the establishment of Hogwarts itself. But even with this limited time frame, you see mentions to this individual. This individual built alongside Rowena Ravenclaw a great many of the classrooms and towers. The moving staircases were his idea. And in this year, the year that Helena Ravenclaw was born, all 5 founders were like family to her. All of them were friends. All of them were close. And you find mention of, very, very briefly, the entrance to Dowerfellow's house. It is a room that was created by Dowerfellow as a testament to creativity and strength of will. Unlike the other doors to the other houses with their passwords and with their riddles, or in Hufflepuff's case, barrels. This house could be opened by force of imagination alone. For Dowerfellow created a room that, when stood in front of a stone wall, you could simply ask for the entrance. It could take any form you wished. It could become anything you wanted, but for the students of the 5th house, it was their entrance, and it was their home. And this is all that you can garner from this initial skimming over. There may well be more, but you have something.
In stunned silence, I'm just gonna shut the book and put it under my pillow and then go down to the common room.
Magnus.
I assume Dot and I had discussed meeting up.
Magnus. Come.
Why are you whispering?
Because you're at the top of the stairs, and I don't want to wake anybody else. And you're quite tall, so I just...
Right.
Just come
I
down.
hurry down the stairs.
Okay, so I was just thinking, I want to... Okay, so I was thinking, I mean, you're probably better with them than me, but there is this, it is a year 2 spell, but I thought maybe I could cast it anyway. It's called Apparitium, and it reveals, like, hidden writing and stuff. So I thought I would cast that, but before I do that, I'm really hungry. So I was wondering if we could go to the kitchens together, and we could, and because a Ravenclaw student told me about the kitchens, so we could go.
You want to sneak to the kitchen?
Yeah, I just...
Right now?
Yeah, because a Ravenclaw person was telling me about it, and it's like they knew about it, so it's not like against the rules exactly. And also, I haven't eaten anything because me and Cecil had to go to Filch, and yeah.
Yeah, so great thinking on that spell.
Yeah. I mean, I know it's year 2, but hopefully.
I had the same idea. I didn't realize there was a year 2 spell that I cast Revelio, which is a year 7 spell. It worked. Yeah. I read there's all these missing pages in there. I've got a lot to tell you and everyone else. I'm actually kind of shocked. I think during breakfast tomorrow we should all talk it out, because I'm gonna read through the whole book tonight. Could you,
if I bring you mine, could you cast it on mine as well?
I could try. I think.
Okay. I mean, I just is it because you're... You know what? I'm just really hungry, so we should probably go. Yeah. Apparently it's underneath the Great Hall, and there's this whole like puzzle thing that I know how to do it, so I'll go first, and then I'll show you how to do it.
if I see Filch again, I'm running.
Okay.
And if you get caught, I was not there.
Well, if I got caught, we get caught together. I just mean I'll walk in front because you have to like talk to a portrait. There's no spell, so I can do it because I'm good at that.
Right.
Right.
Yeah, we should do this.
Okay. So I'm gonna try and sneak out of the common room to the kitchens. And Ed, you're gonna make me roleplay through the whole thing. Don't you? You muted, Ed? King? Oh, something's happening. King?
Yeah.
Check chat.
There's a fire alarm going off in my building.
Oh my god.
I don't know how long it's going to last. I'm probably going to need to leave.
We tripped the alarms.
Yeah. I'm so
Is it
sorry,
time for a
everyone.
break?
Yeah,
time?
let's take a break.
And then afterwards, me and Magnus will break into the
Oh
kitchen.
wow.
I'll keep you all updated on Discord, but I'll be back.
Okay, King.
Okay.
Love you. I'm so sorry.
Bye-bye. Bye-bye.
Harry
Sorry.
Potter's scary.
Oh no.
You know, at least he looks magnificent. Most people
Oh,
leave
yeah,
the house
true.
and they're like in a bathrobe. He's like, I'm ready.
He's
to
like,
go.
Favorite
so
part
good
is,
in that
what
group
if
of
he's not
people.
wearing like pants that match?
Pajama
wearing
pants.
shorts.
Oversized red gym
Do you
shorts.
want to know the most like hysterically ironic thing in the whole wide world?
Huh.
I legit just messaged someone and I was like, "Hey, you should come by and see Ed's GMing. He's really good at it." And they were like, "Yeah, sure." And then,
Oh.
He's
Ed-
silent.
It's lovely.
That's incredible.
Hot
Beef
Cheetos.
Wellington.
Beef Wellington. You disgust me.
Mashed potatoes.
A white man! Oh my god!
Scares the shit out of us.
Oh no, the fire took his bow tie.
It's all
no.
gone. My bow tie, my jacket, my pants, according to the Discord
beat him
chat.
up.
Ed's here!
Hi, everyone. I'm going to grab some butterbeer. I'll be right
Yeah,
back.
Okay.
Our GM's back and we're gonna
Can
get
you
in
imagine if
trouble.
we were just sitting here chatting and then we just see flames start crawling up his
Oh my god!
like, and he's like, "I'm coming back," and we're like, "No, Ed, stop!"
Don't come in here!
Don't touch the door, Ed!
Oh
He's ready to roleplay as house elves and catch y'all.
You just see like everything start melting, and we're like,
But then he reveals that it's
The
all
Doctor
this
Who
big
box
scene
set,
that he
no.
prepared, and it's like a green screen.
Ed
It
would
was
do
part
that
of the
too.
lore.
Ed would do that. He'd be like, aha!
I have no
We're
idea
glad
what
you're
about, but I
safe.
probably will. Oh, thank you. Yeah, no, I was sort of like rapidly like checking in with the fire.
We
People
saw you
appreciate it.
talking
Yeah.
with your mic off, and we were like, a house ghost is in home.
well, I wonder what that could be.
I'm
Probably
very
nothing.
sorry, everyone. What did I miss? What did I miss?
Nothing much. Mika showed off her rats, who were sweethearts, and we were on BRB for a little bit, and then we came back and we were just chatting. And I think we reached our Patreon goal, which is great. I think someone mentioned that
amazing.
they subscribed, so it should.
So Bez.
Oh.
So Bez,
Love that.
and we're also now at
Bez.
£700 out of £1,000
Ooh.
after initially wanting to fundraise like 350. So let's go.
Look at
That's
us.
incredible.
Yeah.
How much will 1,000 add? Like how many episodes?
So that would mean that we would go from 5 to 8 episodes, and we consider a second season.
Ooh, and then make it 2,000 million pounds for the next season.
No.
And then 3 billion pounds for the next one.
Yeah.
Pretty easy.
But Ed, welcome back. Would you like to GM me and Mika going to the kitchens?
Yeah. I mean, I assumed you would resolve that all on your own. But
No,
Can't wait
I
to
was
start
thinking
a
about
fire.
it. We were thinking about it, and then we were like, A, it'd be really fun for Ed to do it, and B, a GM-less heist is difficult.
We were gonna play as house elves.
Yeah.
Oh, amazing. Okay, yeah, let's so the alarms were blaring in my ears for like the last 5 minutes of the
God.
Oh my
Ed!
god!
It's fine,
5
it's just fire.
Oh my god!
I didn't want to
It's
interrupt.
just fire.
You're so English. You're so English.
You're wanting to was there anything in particular that you were wanting to do in the kitchens at all, or was it
Food
just-
heist.
We're wanting to sneak to the kitchens
Snackies.
and get into the kitchen. So that's the first struggle, I guess, is getting in there. Because
Okay.
we're past curfew.
Lovely. So, heading towards the top of the Slytherin dungeons and out as quickly and quietly as you can. Can you make a quick and quiet check for me?
That's fine. This is my signature skill. We should be good. Also, thank you so much, Dandy, for the $10 by Tiltify. Okay. Oh, I pick up Magnus as I go. Okay. I just I pick up Magnus. I roll a 12. Let me pick him up. I take his hand.
12 is double 6, so.
Yeah, so between the two of you, I will say, with Dot doing a substantial amount of covering up the echoing footsteps that go throughout the dungeons, you make your way very, very quickly in the direction of Dot, where you know the kitchens to be, near the entrance to Hufflepuff. And you continue through the castle until eventually you come to a large, long corridor, stone, with numerous large portraits of bits of food and various dishes. But on one wall, you see almost floor to ceiling a very, very large portrait of a fruit bowl. And you see a large green pear sat there in amidst some grapes and some bananas as well, but stands in front of you.
All right, so what the Ravenclaw person said was that we had to... And Dot has ADHD, so... I think they said to tickle the pear. I'm pretty sure. They did, yeah.
Tickle the pear?
Or was it tickle the pear of fruit? Oh my goodness, maybe it's tickle both of them. Oh no, okay.
Well, what constitutes a tickle in this situation? Like just a rub, a touch? Get a feather?
Have you never tickled somebody before? Like...
No, I think tickling is very rude.
Oh, okay. I mean, it's a pear, so I don't think it's gonna mind terribly. So I think we just, and I'm just gonna like I'm gonna like scratch it very lightly.
You reach up and, standing on your tiptoes towards this very, very large pear, you scratch at it somewhat. And it's very strange, despite this being an oil painting. There is something very soft about the surface of this painting. And as you do so, you see the painting just move somewhat. And from the pear, you hear a... And you just step back a moment as this pear slowly shrinks down into a green handle, just coming out of the door.
I didn't even cast a spell for that. It just does that. Do things just do that?
That pear just giggle.
So, if we, you know the moving portraits with the professors in them, do you think if we tickled them, they would feel it too?
I don't want to think about that, Dot. Honestly, I think I might have lost my appetite from that pear laughing.
Okay, well, I'm still hungry, so come on. And I'm gonna, like, take Magnus's wrist and poke the door.
So, opening the portrait, it swings wide as you are met with a cacophony of noise and heat. A gigantic stone room lies before you, and at first glance you could be forgiven that this is the Great Hall. In many ways it is the same. 5 long tables filling the room, 4 going perpendicular and another at its end, mirroring the house and staff tables in the Great Hall, which you know lies directly above this room. But here the similarities end. Pots and pans lie heaped all around the room, along with stoves, counters, and vast quantities of food and produce, and between these, seemingly hundreds of tiny individuals with bat-like ears and bulbous tennis ball-like eyes scurry about. They are house elves, and every single one of them is festooned with often oversized items of clothing. They wear large hats that flop down over their eyes, scarves that trail behind them, jumpers with sleeves flailing behind them as they go about their duties. And at the other end of the room, above a large brick fireplace that belches out flame and heat, you see a giant portrait looking out over them all. It is moving like the other portraits you have seen within the castle. And it is very simple. It is of a smiling elf, wearing a simple pillowcase and large, oversized shoes, standing on a cliff, with what looks like a very small, quaint cottage in the distance behind him. And underneath, it simply says, Dobby. And every so often, you see as individuals are sort of dropping pans and you see sort of meals being prepared. And as the portrait closes behind you, there is suddenly silence as one, all of these big bulbous eyes just turn in your direction. And in amongst them all, you see the rather sour-faced individual you saw at the start of term meal, with a large, oversized chef's hat on top of very sort of almost melted features. And you know this to be Creature, the head of the kitchen.
What do you want?
Oh, good evening. I'm Dot. I'm gonna hold my hand out.
And he reaches up, a hand with flaps of skin just drooping down from very, very thin arms, and just takes two of your fingers and just shakes.
Myself and my friend were hoping that maybe you had any leftovers because we didn't get to eat anything today. So
I suppose you realize it's after hours.
Is it?
Make a convince move. Holly.
Well, you know what they say about growing children. We just have so much thirst for knowledge and also hunger for food.
Creature just looks between the two of you.
I rolled a 5 in case anyone was wondering.
And as his eyes are looking towards you, you see sort of, not so much hands, but you see flapping jumper sleeves as a large plate is sort of thrust between yourselves and Creature as an elf just comes in. Do you like chicken wings? And you see Creature just, get out of here.
I mean, I do. I mean, if they're there, I mean, I don't want the food to go to waste because it does look like really nice food.
Just supposes food will only go to waste. Students stay in corner. Don't disturb.
Right. And I'm gonna look at Magnus. See, I told you. See?
Oh, you called this a heist.
Did I?
We just came down here and asked for food, and that's it. I didn't know there was gonna be, well, house elves here.
Oh. Did you think that it was gonna be an empty kitchen?
Well, yeah.
Oh.
I mean, usually when you do a heist, it's in an empty place.
Oh.
Do you think they're gonna tell our head of house?
No, because they don't know who we are.
But you're wearing a Slytherin tie dot. I'm wearing a Slytherin sweater.
Maybe we were impersonating Slytherins and we're not actually Slytherins and we're trying to get Slytherin in trouble right now. And maybe there's a gang of Gryffindors around impersonating Slytherins, breaking the rules, trying to get us in trouble. Did you ever consider that?
Batty doesn't think that sounds very convincing.
Well, that excuse is out the window, so let's find another then.
Well, we'll just... Oh no, I really don't want anyone to lose house points. I just thought that because the Ravenclaw girl was talking about it like it was allowed, and I didn't forget that it was curfew. I just thought that it wouldn't matter for some. I don't know. I'm sorry. I feel like I've messed everything up. I'm trying to get.
Does Gryffindor even have points to lose? We could have impersonated Hufflepuff.
I mean, could we do it now? Is there anything we could do now to change our ties now and then just like pretend?
They already know.
Well, they could have just seen it wrong with the light, you know? They could have just seen things differently in the light and thought that we were wearing green ties and actually were wearing yellow ties and then...
I don't think we should be questioning their intelligence when it's already clear they can hear us talking right now.
Very clearly.
Here's the thing. If we do lose points, how many points are they going to dock us for trying to get food to nourish our brains, you know?
Right, yeah,
And
exactly.
even if they do dock us points, we're still going to be ahead of Gryffindor. We won't be in last.
I know, I feel bad because I do like Slytherin. I don't want to get us in trouble or anything. Maybe, okay, all right, how about this? I will do this, but then I will be really helpful in classes for the next week, at least, and then I can make it up. Right? Yeah?
Right.
Right.
And maybe we can help the house elves a little. Try
Yeah.
to convince them to not tell on us.
I mean, I would want to do that anyway because they seem quite nice. I would want to help them regardless.
You should be a little less obvious with your sucking up right now.
I'm not. I'm just like this.
The side eye was very obvious, Doc.
I was just trying to make eye contact with them when I was
watch. This is what you did. Oh yeah, the house elves are really great. Yeah, they're very nice.
Well, it's impolite to not make eye contact with somebody when you're speaking to them. I thought, I don't know. How many rules
You're
are
talking
there?
about them behind their back, Doc.
Well, okay, so I look at people and I look over their shoulder when I speak to them, and that's rude. And then if I look in their eyes when I'm speaking about them, that's rude as well. Like, it doesn't make any sense. I have a dazed condition, by the way.
Not be closed off. If I was always taught, stand tall, shoulders back, knees straight. Don't close your arms, put them by your side. But you should be eating, because we need to get back to our house.
Okay. Also, of course you got told back straight. You're tall as anything.
It's not as good as you think.
Yeah, but when I put my back straight, it's like I'm trying to make up for something, doesn't it? Like, ooh, look at me, I'm Dot. I definitely don't get bullied all the time because I can't reach the netball hoop. It doesn't matter. Do they have those chicken wings?
Aren't they already in front of us?
We haven't eaten this whole time.
Yeah.
Once again, I am dazed
why
with a
Magnus has
-2
been like,
to mind.
You notice that as you've been sitting there and eating, every so often, like, creature looks over in your direction with a... But nevertheless, every so often you see another, like, house elf move past and just put another plate on your table, and there seems to just be a never-ending buffet of leftovers as house elves just use this up, please, and continue walking by as there's just, like, almost more food than you can handle, and usually in the wrong order. There's treacle tarts, followed by gravy, followed by just a nice meat platter, followed by custard. It's all in the wrong order, and yet there is something to be said for the quite excellent cooking of this very well-oiled, if very high-pitched machine deep below the castle.
I mean, it does taste very nice, so... Thanks for coming with me. I'm sorry, I just thought... Because... I mean, maybe I'll tell you it when house elves aren't listening, so it's kind of embarrassing. But I just wanted to, like, you know, take you somewhere, because you've been really helpful today, so I just thought, you know...
Well, you don't have to apologize. If I didn't want to come, I wouldn't have come.
Okay. Well, thanks for wanting to, then, I guess.
Even if it loses us house points.
I'm gonna make them up. I told you. I said that I'll make them up.
They were worth the treacle tarts, okay?
Okay.
I owe you for being such a good friend to Vlad, as well.
Right. Yeah. Yeah, it was. Okay. And I'm gonna try and pocket, if there's any, like, little pastry or stuff, some kind that I can, like, pocket neatly with, like, a little napkin, I'm gonna take that as well and put it in my pocket.
Yeah, no, there's definitely enough. And
I do that.
even as you begin to do that, you, like, every so often, Batty, the elf who is nearest to you, occasionally just goes, "You sure you don't want anything else?"
No, thank you. This is a lot. Oh.
Okay.
Thank you, though. It is really good. I'm sorry for talking at you earlier.
Batty loves the company. He just goes off and continues to clean some of the pans nearby.
I'm writing down that I like Batty in my notes. Batty the elf. I love them. Okay, shall we go? I suppose.
Yeah,
Okay, do you need help
Magnus is gonna
getting...
pack up stuff too.
I find that, like, if you walk on your tiptoes, it actually does make you sneakier, so if you want to try that when we're going back. I know that... Like, I know it's like a thing, like, walking on your tiptoes, but actually, if I do walk on my tiptoes and I'm really careful at where I'm walking, I just feel like I walk
So,
quieter.
I would like to remind you what happened when we stepped out of the secret corridor. I believe you fell.
Yeah, but just then, I just
tiptoes.
noticed when we were walking that I was helping you a lot with, you know, not slipping into puddles and that. Because
All right, watch this then. Is this tiptoe enough for you.
Stepping forward almost immediately on undone shoelaces, Magnus topples forward, and there is a deafening crash as pots and pans just fall down. And once again, all eyes just turn towards you, and Creature just...
Please get out of Creature's kitchen.
Right. Yeah. Sorry. Magnus, do you want some help maybe? And like Dot is like laughing and trying really hard not to. She's trying to like be able to tell if Magnus is actually upset or not.
It's all the treacle tarts I have in my pockets. They weigh me down weird.
Yeah,
And not
no.
enough balance.
As
No,
if to
that's
punctuate this, there is another... as pans just scatter across the floor.
Yeah, we should go. Creature's very sorry for interrupting your kitchen, but thank you for the delicious food.
Yeah.
Students are welcome.
Thank you. Could are you going to tell on us because it was after curfew? I promise if we visit again, we'll do it within the right time. I just forgot.
Creature is happy to provide a nice, well-rounded meal for students.
Thank you. Thank you. Sorry about the... Come on, Magnus, if you want to... Alright. Do I have to roll to sneak out, or am I good? Alright, I'm good. I won't.
So you head on out and head back with relatively little trouble back to the Slytherin dungeons. And as you're making your way through the entrance hall, you notice that Filch is bent down on almost impossibly old knees, just scrubbing down the entrance hall stairs as he just...
Bloody students.
And Mrs. Norris just sits to one side going... But you manage to run past him while his back is turned to you.
Why would you work for a school if you hate students so much?
I think it's the only place he belongs.
Oh. I can't imagine hating belonging somewhere. And they keep sneaking.
Well,
Little to be continued joke I think on the bottom.
So is there anything that, as you return to Slytherin, anything that you want to do before you go to sleep?
I would like to ask Magnus to do the spelly spell on my book. I mean, if you can't, I can cast my one, but I just figured that you're good. You're really good at magic.
Good.
So.
I'm feeling good about it.
Yeah.
We should probably do it in the common area, because my wand flew out of my hand when I did it, and it almost knocked out into one of my roommate's beds.
All right, yeah. I'll bring Bimby for good luck as well. And I go upstairs and I grab the book and I get Bimby and I put Bimby on top of the book and I scoot back downstairs and I hand Magnus the book with Bimby on top.
What was the no, you know what? Revelio.
Okay.
The dice hate me right now.
So you take a condition as you point your wand at the book, and again there is that familiar sensation of this build up, and suddenly there is a and for a moment you start to see everything exactly as it is. You can see dirt on surfaces. Looking out into the windows and through, you can see almost every denizen of the Black Lake. You can see mermaids swimming. You can see fish moving through. You can see other darker shapes in the water. But all of a sudden this is gone and you are exhausted. You take -2 to soul as you just fall back into one of the green leather chairs and just... as your vision slowly goes back to normal.
You know what? Maybe we should wait. I can try it again tomorrow.
Or I could try my one, maybe.
Revelio?
No, Apparitium, that one. It's just a year 2 spell, remember? And it reveals Ryan. Yeah, I read about it. Alright. So, is that -1, Ed? Because it's a year above me?
Yes, it is.
Okay. This is not going to be good. 2d6 -2. Ooh, okay. 6.
So you still take a condition.
Great. Fabulous. Am I still
so-
dazed, by the way? I ate. Does that fix dazed? What fixes dazed?
That's a good question. Yes, I think that fixes dazed.
Okay, cool.
I think we'll rule it as doing that for now.
Okay, thank you.
So you cast your spell, or you try, and as you point it at the blank pages in front of you, you feel a strange sensation through your wand, and you are also exhausted, I will say. The sheer sort of effort it takes to cast this spell, so -2 to soul.
Okay. Yeah, Ravenclaw's just vibing, hanging out with Danny, just talking, whereas we're like, we're gonna break into the kitchens and then we're gonna cast it on other spells.
So, are you doing anything else before you go to bed?
No. Oh, wait, did the spell not work on the book?
It didn't, unfortunately.
Okay, it's 6 of out. Okay, no worries. Yeah, I would just, sorry, that's probably, I don't know why I thought I could do it. Tomorrow,
Oh.
yeah.
You get better at it with practice.
Have you practiced a lot then?
Well, not Revelio. That was the first time I've ever cast it, but I've practiced a lot with other spells.
Yeah, maybe that's why. I'm gonna go to bed, so good night. Say good night, Bimby.
Good night, Bimby.
Right. Gonna go. And I just sort of bundle the book and Bimby close to my chest, and I go to sleep feeling like a failure.
So you head to your respective dorm rooms, and Bimby goes to sleep at the end of your bed, Dot, as you settle in for the night in your bed socks. And Magnus, as you head to your dorm, you see Vlad fast asleep in one of the nearby beds. And as you begin to get ready for bed, you are reminded once more of the letter that is in your jacket. Would you like to do anything with it, or is this something you would like to leave for another day?
Ooh. Magnus is gonna take it out and hold it for what feels like hours. It's not really hours, it's probably just a couple of minutes, but he's going to tuck it under his pillow like the book and go to sleep without opening it.
Okay. So, the next few weeks, and almost month, passes. You continue going to your classes, learning spells and potions, and the nights are getting longer and the weather colder as autumn continues on apace. Leaves fall across the grounds of Hogwarts, and frosty dew can be seen on the grounds all around. And as the term continues, whispers continue and abound around the school about the now very obviously missing 4 house ghosts. There are rumours, of course. There are some who say that they have upped and left for other areas. There are some who say that the Bloody Baron and Helena Ravenclaw have finally run away in unlife, that Peeves has gone off to join his hunt, and that the Frat Friar has gone to churches, going on a sabbatical of sorts, but no one really knows for sure. And in your lessons, you continue learning about the wizarding world, with Dot and Ezra, your eyes continuing to open to the wonders that it offers. And to the delight of Dot especially, you find that you are having regular flying lessons with Madame Hooch. You learn how to ride brooms, and you learn how to navigate the pitches of Quidditch, even though the actual game, the sport itself, is a ways off yet. And there is a solid week where the Slytherin dungeons are evacuated as 2 students, Ethan Shiteford and Chad Bradley, accidentally create a magical hole in one of the windows in the common room, causing the Black Lake to flood the lower levels and earning them both a suspension. But the Slytherin students are all relocated for about a week as they sort this out. Dot, you are sent to the Hufflepuff dormitories, where you find yourself in the very earthy, very friendly and very warm environment, as a number of other Slytherin students join you as well. Magnus, you are offered the chance to join your brother in Gryffindor. Do you take it?
Absolutely not.
Okay, in which case you two are placed in Hufflepuff as well, just for the week, as the mainly Filch has to deal with the sheer amount of water that keeps pouring into the Slytherin dungeons. Vlad is moved to Ravenclaw, and Ezra, Sissel, and Violet, you make him feel as comfortable as possible in this time. Magnus, you find that as the weeks draw on, that your brother avoids you around the school. And Sissel, you notice that as the weeks draw on, the strange looks from the other students don't stop. Whispers of the girl who was unsorted, the girl without a house. Whispers of where was she really sorted? Is she meant to be in Ravenclaw? And the rest of you hear and see these rumours as well. But is there anything that anyone wants to do over these weeks? And also, bearing in mind, there are some mechanical things that you can do. So you can do one of the following. You can join a club. You can take on a job around the school and earn a little bit of money. You can create some potions. You can be involved in school activities. You can practice spell casting, or you can simply do studying. So I'll go round in order of alphabetical order. So, Dot, is there anything that you would like to do?
I would like to... So if we do... you know what? I think that... So for studying, we get a +1 forward on... I read about that, if we get a really good mark. Is that right?
Yes, you do. Yes.
Okay. I'm going to say that she's... I would say... Okay. Dot is going to try and do... she's going to practice spell casting, I think, because she wants to get... No. I'm so sorry. ADHD brain is really bad. Okay. I'm going to do studying, but she's studying spells, but she's going to do studying because she really wants to get better at that, and she is now convinced that, like, practical spell casting is too dangerous as a way of trying to learn, so she wants to study first.
Okay, not a problem. So, if you can simply roll 2d6 and add your mind to it.
Okay. Am I not exhausted anymore, by the way?
No, I'll say over the course of the weeks, any conditions that you all have abate slowly.
You're okay, V. You're all right. V, you're all right. I got a 4. No, Dawn!
So, unfortunately, you find that the sheer amount that you are studying, and especially with the very, very stern librarian, you find it quite daunting going into the library, especially with the sheer amount there is to learn. It is very overwhelming. And while you try and make some forward momentum in your understanding of the wizarding world, it is stagnated.
I feel like Dot would definitely have a couple of meltdowns in the library.
Every so often, the very, very stern and very tight-lipped librarian, who you come to know as Irma, occasionally looks over at you during said breakdowns and just shh, and goes back to sorting books in the library. Ezra, what would you like to do over these weeks?
I think Ezra would want to try to practice spellcasting since it's such a new world for Ezra. I feel like practicing spells and understanding how to do them would be the thing Ezra would really want to latch on to.
Okay, sure thing. So if you roll 2d6 plus magic.
Plus magic, okay. Oops.
We're really not helping with the narrative that Muggleborns aren't good at magic, are we? Although you're a half-blood, but you know what I mean. We're really not helping.
So, you continue practicing, and you and Dot liaise quite a bit, especially over text, trying to figure out the logistics and the sort of practicalities of casting magic. It is something that unfortunately doesn't come easily to you, and it is something that you will need to practice a lot more over the coming weeks. Magnus, is there anything that you would like to do over the couple of weeks?
You're muted.
Under create potions, it says you have to have the right ingredients.
Yeah, so I will say over the weeks, if there is something in particular that you would like to try brewing, you may do so.
I'll go with practice spellcasting.
Okay, so if you roll 2d6 plus magic. Of course.
Yeah, it's fine. Yeah, it's all right. Yeah.
So, you temporarily get to add an additional spell to your spell bank for the next session. So I'll say for the rest of the session and next week when we meet, you can have an additional spell of your choice.
Cool. Level 1, obviously, right? Level 1, obviously, right?
Yes, yeah.
Okay, cool.
So you are practicing almost religiously over the next few months, and the relocation to Hufflepuff only heeds this. The Hufflepuff common room is incredibly open, and even though it is deep underground, there is an incredible sense of openness to it. There are windows all the way around that have these magical illusions of wide open grass plains and yellow flowers, and there is something altogether healing about the room, and you find this incredibly conducive to your spell casting, even though you have to contend occasionally with Dot throwing books across the room as she just gets increasingly frustrated. Sissel, is there anything that you would like to do over these weeks?
What were my options again?
So, clubs, job, create potions, social activities, practice spell casting, or studying.
Potions.
Potions. Okay. Is there anything in particular that you're wanting to brew?
Yes, Wiggenweld.
Okay. So, if you just roll 2d6 plus mind.
Doing great here.
What a day. What a day for everyone except Magnus.
So, Ezra and Violet, as you are hanging out in the Ravenclaw common room, as you're wont to do, there is a distinct from the Ravenclaw dormitories, and you see a group of people just slowly running out as smoke just slowly drifts out. And after a time, Sissel comes out, her red hair now very, very blackened and soot covering her face as she just and a single sort of stream of smoke just puffs out into the air.
Black lungs.
And sorry. Were you wanting to say something? Sorry?
Oh, no. Go ahead.
Oh.
Sorry.
And finally, Vi, is there anything that you would like to do over these 2 weeks?
Can I do social activities?
Yeah, absolutely.
I can be better at that, maybe?
Yeah, so 2d6 plus heart for that.
Okay. 0 hearts. Wait, actually, hold on. I have -2 heart. Okay. So it's 2d6.
No, you're okay now. You wouldn't have -2 heart
Oh,
anymore.
it's gone
Yeah,
now.
you're all
Yeah.
cleared.
Okay.
You're fine. You're back to default.
We're just...
Why do we even try? I'm so confused.
So you go around, and a lot of your social activities are trying to get people to stroke Bunny. And this puts a few people off, you know, and every so often, like, you see Danny come over and, like, demonstrate. But this doesn't seem to help your case a lot. And you find yourself gravitating back towards the Ravenclaw common room and towards your friends in the Great Hall whenever you sit and eat. But the weeks continue on, and eventually you're all sat one morning for breakfast, as the houses are wont to do, occasionally mingling with one another, and you are sat near one another getting ready for your first lesson of the day, Herbology. Is there anything that you want to talk about or discuss or do before your first lesson of the day?
Who's the most plant inclined out of all of us? For some reason, my brain said Sissy, so I don't know if that's right. Okay.
It's Sissy.
Okay, so Dot would sort of be like just scooching ever so suddenly close to Sissy and be like, do you think that they'll let us like take a little plant? Because you know, wouldn't it be sweet if we could like make our dorms like our own? Because mine's really boring, and I was wondering if
I suppose the problem with that is that you don't currently have a dorm that you can place stuff in. However, there are plants that thrive inside.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I would look after the plant. So if I could have it now, I could take it with me to the Hufflepuff, and then I could also take it back to Slytherin when that's fixed. But do you think I should ask? Yeah.
Yeah.
I won't get in trouble if I ask, though, right?
I don't know why you would get in trouble for asking.
Okay.
Asking for forgiveness might be a problem later, though, so I would definitely ask for permission.
I wasn't going to steal it or anything. I know that I tried to take one of the little birds that we made in Charms once, but that was just because I thought that they were going to be stuck in the cage the whole time. I didn't know that Flitwick let them out for things. And
after getting to know Dot for months, she's just like, all right, Dot, I get it. Okay. You're not going to steal anything.
I wasn't.
But ask.
I will. Okay. What's the Herbology teacher's name?
It's Professor Longbottom.
Oh yeah, I forgot. Professor Longbottom.
Oh, so you're not there yet. Sorry,
I'm gonna. Okay, I'm practicing. That's how I'm gonna ask him to see. I'm gonna do that.
Is that very good? Honestly, super convincing. I think that he'll definitely answer your question. He'll definitely call on you.
For some reason, I thought Ed meant, do you want to do anything like at the very beginning of class? And I was like, yeah, hell's yeah.
I'll just ask a question.
That's good. All right, sorry. Yeah, Dot hides in her chair now. She's practiced. She's good.
Okay. Ezra would like to. So wait, where are we currently?
You're currently in the Great Hall. Breakfast is happening, and people are sort of slowly filing out in sort of friendship groups and in pairs and alone. And yeah, it's the soft white light of the morning is streaming through the large windows at the end across the long, long mahogany tables.
And we're all together.
Yeah, I'd say so.
Magnus, would you want to help me try to? Would you want to help me try to practice spells sometimes, because I tried and I don't really know, and you're really good at it, and I don't know. Is that okay?
Why do you look nervous asking me this, Ezra? Of course.
Well, it's because you're so good at this stuff, and I don't know this stuff, and I have to jot it down to make sure I remember, and I just thank you.
You'll get better with practice. I mean, not everyone was born with magical, anyway.
Not everyone can be Magnus. Got it. Okay. Thank you so much. I appreciate it.
It's not exactly all right. Have you? He wants to address the whole group. Have any of you been reading the tomes that you got from your room?
I tried several times. Each time I failed. Pages are still blank. Why do you ask? Have you?
I may have revealed the hidden pages in the Slytherin tome.
Oh, you did, didn't you?
What?
Yeah. Magnus did.
I forgot all about it.
He cast a really powerful spell.
I cast Revelio, which you learn in year 7.
That's year 7.
Mm-hmm.
Magnus is amazing
What did
at
it say?
magic. Okay.
Well, there was a lot of stuff about Daedalus. Most of the stuff in the hidden paragraphs was about Daedalus. And it talked about how Daedalus, and he's gonna really lower his voice now. Daedalus
We're leaning in.
is the 5th founder of Hogwarts.
There's 5 founders of Hogwarts?
Stop!
Cover her mouth.
And a couple of students sat around, look in your direction before going back to their meal.
There are 5 founders, and Daedalus was the 5th. But only for a short amount of time.
I wonder why.
And he had his own house.
Who's Daedalus?
That's who I saw in my vision.
Who is that?
Daedalus is the architect.
The big golden statue.
So he wasn't just the architect, he also was a founder.
Yeah. He was the 5th person dueling.
Oh yeah, you saw a duel. Maybe what if they killed him and then they just tried to
erase his legacy?
So the statue is alive. Is he inside the statue?
No, I think it is.
The statue's not alive.
He could be inside.
What gave you the idea that the statue's alive, V?
I mean, but pictures are they alive or do they just move?
I don't think
Okay,
that
that's fair,
pictures are
that's fair.
actually people. I think it's just
What
like...
if they painted him gold, and he's just standing really still?
And they use Petrificus totalis.
That sounds like a walk. That sounds like a crime against human rights if they were doing that. I don't think wizards do that, do they? Like this?
No, we don't do that. Also,
Okay.
you'd have to have someone recasting Petrificus totalis every couple of hours. It would wear off.
Maybe that's why Filch is... You know what? This is stupid. I don't know why. No, he's not... Okay, so maybe he died or we went evil, maybe.
They say his house in the book. His house is still here.
Like, there are
It doesn't have a
students?
password. You don't go up
Wait.
to a portrait and tell it something.
I think I know. I remember Shannon telling me about like these stories that he's heard of past Hogwarts students of a place called the Room of Requirements, and there's a big wall, a very big wall, and you have to, I think, imagine the room that you want to
That's
go in or what
exactly
you
right, yeah.
desire. That makes sense, especially with the sunlight issue, because there's windows around there.
I believe it's just any blank wall. A
But-
student of Daedalus
I
can
don't know.
think of a room.
But if Shannon could do it, or Shannon knew about it, doesn't that mean that anybody could do it, not just someone in Daedalus's house? Because obviously Shannon's in Ravenclaw.
Is Shannon in the Great Hall, like somewhere?
Um,
near her friends?
Looking around, you can see that off further on down the table, you can see Shannon with a couple of the other Ravenclaw Quidditch members of the team.
Okay, I'll be right back. I want to get up and walk over to him, and I want to tap his shoulder and be like, "Hey, can I talk to you really quickly?"
Yeah. Sorry, guys. I'll be right back. Hey, what is it?
Do you mind coming to sit by me and my friends for a moment? We have some questions. Nothing bad,
Okay, sounds official, but
just questions.
yeah. And he walks over and, hey, folks, how are we?
Hi, Shannon.
Hey,
Hello.
Dart.
Hi.
Hey, Ezra. Hey, Magnus. Hey. Yeah. What? You had questions?
So remember whenever you would tell me about different things at Hogwarts that you would hear, there was a place called the Room of Requirements?
Yeah.
Do you
The
know
founder,
what that-
Daedalus. Daedalus, we're looking for him. We're trying to, and you can help us because you did something. Sissy was telling us about what you did, and now you're gonna help us find it.
I mean, I'll try. What are you?
We'd just love to go to the Room of Requirement. It just sounds really cool. So I just thought maybe you
The
could tell
founders. The
us.
founders.
Shvee.
The founders. That's the fifth one.
We would like
Yeah, just like how,
Hey.
they were able to find the storage room with Rowena's stuff in it, and, that's what she's talking about. One of the founders, there was something in
Yeah.
there, but that's not what
Okay.
we're...
Well, as soon as lessons are over, I've got Quidditch practice for the rest of the day. But if you
What
want to
time's
meet me,
Quidditch practice?
I mean, it's going to be up until supper. So,
What's the next match coming up?
start of November, I think. It's Gryffindor against Slytherin. So we've got a while until we're playing, but still need to practice. But
That'll be
if-
good. You're so good. I've seen
Oh.
you.
Thanks, Dot.
Yeah.
Well, I was gonna say, obviously, and he looks around. As first years, I know you're technically not supposed to, but I was saying to Sis the other day, if you wanted to meet somewhere, anyone who was interested, I can show you the ropes, so you have a head start on anyone else before you actually get to try out next year.
Wait, I thought you were talking about the Room of Requirement. Do you mean Quidditch?
Yeah.
I mean, yeah.
Are you
That
gonna give him?
sounds
Are you gonna
really
give him
good.
the love potion? Like you guys love giving Quidditch people love And you guys and
I would
Magnus,
never give Shannon a
and-
love potion. That's gross. That's so gross.
well,
That's
so you
ew.
can give it because that's what you do for Quidditch. You
Shannon,
did that.
I'm sorry. These are my friends.
Because then you're gonna fall in love and you guys are gonna get married, but only for 30 minutes because it
No,
goes away.
I don't want to get married to Shannon. Oh my god, I just
gonna
want
get
to
married,
learn about
but then-
Quidditch.
But then you break up in half an hour, so it's okay. It's like it's.
Oh, I
you
don't want to
can
do that. I just.
It's in the pumpkin juice.
Are you? Did you? Are you the ones who?
I didn't do anything.
Brian.
It wasn't me.
Sissy didn't. She didn't.
Oh, Brian is pissed.
Sorry,
Do you
maybe
think
I
it's
should
funny?
shut
Because it
my
was
mouth.
me that did it, and also somebody else, but they don't need to say it was them if they don't want to. But it was me if you think that it was funny.
So only Brian. Brian's the only one.
Yeah. I mean, as far as I'm aware.
Did no one drink any rare pumpkin juice laying around anywhere?
I mean, not as far as I'm aware. I think some was cleared out of the Gryffindor tent afterwards, but have you been going around spiking drinks?
Yeah, they love spiking.
No,
they
just
love
one.
doing that. And they're gonna do that. And I said that Ezra should drink it, but good thing they didn't drink it. But you can drink it, and we can give it to whoever you want, Hagrid or Dobby or whatever.
It was just one time at the first match of the season, because I thought that it would be funny, and I did it with somebody else. If they want to say that they did it too, that's totally fine. But I did it with a friend, and it was really
Shannon,
funny.
I will never let them spike your drinks.
That's
I
funny.
would never
She did
spike
that.
your drink with love potion. That's super inappropriate, and I would never do that to you, Shannon, because you're gonna help.
With any potion.
With any potion, yeah.
And he sort of looks around at these very, very young children. Just okay. It's fine. Just you're careful because you're stepping on James's toes.
Are you still gonna show me?
Quidditch? Yeah, sure, absolutely. Okay, one thing at a time. I'm going to be busy for the rest of the day, but if you want to meet me after classes tomorrow, I can show you the room of requirement. I can show you how to get in and all that kind of stuff. But in terms of Quidditch, name a day, and I know a place. It's quiet. It's out of view of the castle. I can teach you the basics, and I could probably get some equipment as well.
Okay.
Okay, cool. Well, obviously, Sis knows where to find me, so let her know, and I'll be there. But I gotta go now. But meet you all tomorrow. 7th floor. If you go, you'll find a tapestry. It's a wizard teaching some trolls to dance ballet. Just sounds weird, but find it, and I'll wait for you there. Okay.
Thank you. Sorry, this weird conversation. Have a good time at Quidditch. Don't
I
fall,
will,
please.
and I won't.
Yeah.
Okay. Bye-bye. See you. And with that, he stands up and waves to you all and heads over to his friends who are now starting to make their way out of the Great Hall.
Sissy, your brother's really cool.
Can Magnus
He's really cool.
get up after a few seconds and go after Shannon?
Yeah, of course.
And he's gonna tap on Shannon's shoulder before he gets to his friends.
Hey, you okay?
Yeah, can I ask you a question and you promise not to tell anyone that I was asking?
Yeah.
Has Ian said anything to you the last couple of weeks at all about, well, anything?
I mean, if you talk about the sorting stuff, I mean, it's come up. Both are younger siblings. Things didn't necessarily go the way that either you or we were hoping. Obviously for very different reasons, and I'm very glad you're in a house that you seem to be great in. But I'd say give him time.
I guess I can do that. Yeah. Thanks, Shannon.
Look, I've never had a brother. I don't know how it is, but... And he looks over at Cecil, over with your friends, and he just goes, as older brothers, we might not always be good at showing it. but we love you.
Thanks. Sorry, I'll let you get back to your friends. I
It's
appreciate
okay. I'm around. Anyway, have a good day. Enjoy Herbology. And say hi to Professor Longbottom from me.
Oh, okay.
I just help around in the greenhouses sometimes, but
Yeah. I'll. If I drop your name, will he give me extra points?
can't hurt. Anyway, I've got to go. I'll see you, Magnus.
Gonna go back to the table then.
Is everything all right, Magnus?
Are you okay?
I just had a question. It doesn't matter. It's nothing to do with any of you. So.
Okay. Did he say anything about me though?
Shannon?
Yeah.
He's gonna like look at Sissel and then look back at Dot. No, he didn't.
Do you have a thing for my brother?
No, ew, oh my god, Sissy, no, I don't have a thing for your brother. That's so gross. I was just wondering.
I had to ask.
No, I just think he's a really cool Quidditch player, so I was just wondering, Sissy, no.
Do you want a love potion?
Dot, look
him?
me in the eyes and tell me you don't have a crush on Shannon.
I'm not doing that, that's stupid. And Dot's face gets like really red.
Love potions out of it.
It's okay to like somebody. Just know sometimes, but usually they won't like you back. That's how it usually goes.
Especially since I don't know if Shannon likes girls.
Well, I don't even have a crush on him, so no, it's fine. Like, that's good, actually. I don't think I have a crush on him. I just think that he's really cool, and I think he's really good at sports, and I think that means that, because he's a boy, everyone thinks that I like him, but I don't. I just think he's really cool, and I wish I was older so I could be his friend and we could play Quidditch together. It's not a crush thing. That's
You can still be his friend. He's my best friend.
But maybe he'll think I'm stupid because I'm younger and I don't know how to play Quidditch yet, and I don't want him to think I'm stupid.
If he doesn't think that I'm a bit and younger, then you wouldn't be.
Shut up. You're gonna be the best player on the whole team. You're stronger than all of us. You're like you're the coolest person here. Well, besides Magnus,
the whole
Magnus
statue.
is like scary cool. But Dot, you're like nice cool, and he will see how good you are. Why are you worrying about this?
I'm sorry. I've just been really stressed out lately because I don't know how to do any magic stuff. So I'm just really hoping that I'm really good at Quidditch. But I don't have a crush on your brother, Sissy. I promise. That would no. It's not that. It's just like a.
And even
friend.
if you did, I wouldn't be offended.
I mean, you're really pretty, and it's just all of your family is really pretty. Honestly, like you're all really stylish, and I feel like every time I look at all of you, I feel like I'm like messy looking. But
well, don't worry. Whenever you're isolated for a really long time, you learn to sew, you learn to garden, you learn to cook, you learn everything. So I appreciate that.
But also, it's okay whatever you look like, whatever. It doesn't matter. It's your skills, you know, drawing skills, nice being skills, being cool skills. Yeah. Being crazy skills.
Talking
Those are
skills.
Good. Yeah.
I'm really good at that.
Yeah, you have talking skills like me. That's why we're best friends.
Yeah. Thanks. I'm sorry. I just get really stressed out really easily sometimes. I think it's because of the weather. But that's fine. So, and he said that he'll help me with Quidditch. So
he will, and he's really good at it.
Yeah, cool. Okay.
Okay.
Dot's gonna drink her drink.
So, you finish up your breakfast, and sure enough, you start to head out under the shadow of the castle. And surrounded by rows and rows of vegetables and plants growing out of the ground, you see the now familiar 7 long glass greenhouses standing parallel to one another, each of them with serpentine metal dragons running down the center of their roofs. And even from the outside, you can see the inside full of verdant green plant life, almost from floor to ceiling. And as you approach, you see Professor Longbottom stood outside, slightly stooped and a little nervous looking, but he wears a long brown coat and heavy dark gloves. Right, hello everyone, welcome back. If everyone wants to grab an overcoat and protective gloves from the cupboard over there, and as always, copies of 1000 Magical Herbs and Fungi at the ready, and we'll make a start. And he leads you all in, and you see that running down the center there is a long table on which there are numerous pots that just run down the center of this. allocating various places. And as you're walking along, Magnus, you sort of feel a tap on your shoulder, and Vlad is behind you and just gives you a bit of a wave. Hello.
Vlad, how is the Ravenclaw common rooms for you?
It's okay. It's nice. It's quite quiet because everyone is reading all of the time. But I'm enjoying it. But I'm missing you and Dot.
We're missing you too. Hufflepuff is, well, they're a creative bunch. Very open though. Much different than the dungeons.
So, is Alpine okay down there?
Well, you know her. She likes the dark. So I think we're both ready to get back.
Well, hopefully it'll be sorted soon.
I'm glad to see it in class, though.
Yeah. It's nice to see everyone together. It's good to have a group.
Do you want to stand by me in class and we can go through our lessons together?
Yes,
Okay.
please.
Let me grab Dot and some of the others. I'm gonna like wave everyone over, try to get your attention.
Hi, Vlad.
Hey, how are you enjoying Hufflepuff?
It's really nice. They have everything's really soft, which is really cool, and they don't look at me funny if I forget my shoes, which is new, but it's good. Bimby misses you though.
I haven't seen Bimby in a very long time. Maybe I can come and hang out in the Hufflepuff common room at some point.
Yeah, and we can have Sissy and V and Ezra and everyone could come and we could all hang out with Bimby and Alpine and everyone.
I'd like that.
That'd be cool.
Oh.
And as you all take your places, Professor Longbottom stands at the end of the table and... Right, everyone. Today we're going to be learning about mugwort, also known as Artemisia vulgaris. Does anyone know the properties of mugwort? Yes. Dot Campbell.
I know that because white sage is like a closed practice for Native Americans, sometimes people that want to cleanse a space with like a smudge stick, you can burn mugwort instead, and it's sort of meant to cleanse the area of like bad vibes and spirits, I guess, because those are real now.
That is almost exactly it. 5 points to Slytherin.
First in campaign house points, let's go.
As Dot perfectly illustrated, yes, it is used as a cleansing, a balm, or very often to elicit aromas. But it has long held a long connection with fortune telling and divination as well, connecting its user with the unseen world around them. So as such, many use these plants to assist them in lucid dreaming, with many practicing the art of creating dream pillows, or more simply, a sprig of mugwort placed under one's pillows to, for lack of a better word, inspire messages from the universe. So today we are going to be working on the best ways of picking and preserving these herbs, how they can be stored, and how best to utilize them in spellcasting. So, everyone, you have a pot in front of you, and I will talk you through it as we go. So, the lesson continues on. If everyone can just roll a simple 2d6 plus, let's say, mind for this.
So I'm not dazed anymore, right?
No.
Yeah,
Ooh, she loves playing.
Sam, let's go. Nat 20. Okay, easy. Well, nat 12 rather, but.
Oh.
Okay, so everyone who rolled a 7 and above, you get 5 house points, and for Sissel, you get 10 house points as you blaze the way for and sort of even Professor Longbottom comes over and seems remarkably impressed by your work and sort of making the paces around. You're all picking these sprigs and using pestles and mortars to grind them down, and just generally learning the best ways and the best applications of mugwort.
What's sorry, what number and above get 5, sorry?
So 7 and above
Okay.
get 5, with the exception of Sissel, who gets 10. So you continue on through the class until eventually lesson comes to an end and Professor Longbottom turns around. Well done, everyone. Very, very impressed with everyone. Before you go, before we finish, Professor Young requires some ingredients for their potions class. So I am looking potentially for some volunteers. I'm going to be headed to the Forbidden Forest, only the edges, mind, after supper to collect what they need. It will be after dark, but I could do with some helping hand. So might anyone be interested in earning some house points and accompanying me?
Sissel sees all of her friends raising her hand. She's like, me too. I want my
lovely.
friends.
Wonderful. Well, in that case, and you see Hufflepuff student as well raise their hands, and you know this, Magnus and Dot, from your time in Hufflepuff to me, Amar Vasvani, who holds up his hand, and Longbottom go, lovely. Lots of volunteers then. Wonderful. Well, if you all meet me in the courtyard after supper, and we will go from there. But lovely. Thank you. Well, don't let me delay you any further. Go to your classes. And Master Lennox, might I have a word?
Me?
If that's right, it won't be for very long.
Yeah. I'll catch up with you guys across the courtyard.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Can I quickly? I don't know what the sleight of hand alternative is. I want to take a bit of mugwort.
I'll say quick and quiet.
Sneakily.
Quick
Okay.
and quiet sounds about right.
That's our favorite.
I'm so good at it. What do you mean? What's the problem? Yes. Okay.
So you look down and you're able to just pluck a couple of sprigs from one of the nearby pots as you head on out.
Okay.
I look at Dot and I'm just like,
No, you didn't see that. That was sleight of hand. No one saw that, right?
I was next to you. I'm not gonna tell though. I ain't no snitch.
Fine.
As the others head on out, Professor Longbottom starts taking off his very thick gloves and places them on the side, and he just leans against one of the tables and how are you doing?
I'm doing good, Professor. I've made a lot of friends in Slytherin and now Hufflepuff and also some in Ravenclaw, so I feel like I'm doing well.
Good.
May I ask why you're asking me that? If you don't mind, Professor?
I don't know. Maybe it's not my place, but did you know I used to be a student here?
Yeah, I've heard your name quite a lot growing up.
Oh, well, that's surprising, but I didn't want to be placed in Gryffindor.
Oh. What else did you want to be placed in?
Well, I wanted to be put in Hufflepuff. And I remember when I was sitting on that stool and the sorting hat was on my head. And I remember just saying, Hufflepuff, Hufflepuff, I want to be in Hufflepuff. And the hat eventually just ignored me. And the idea of, Gryffindor is meant to be for people who are brave, and that terrified me. But I guess the reason that I wanted to check in with you is, for the longest time, I thought I'd been put in the wrong house. And it took me a really long time to find my place and to realize that it didn't really matter.
The thing is, Professor, I have always sort of known that Slytherin was the house I would get. And I never wanted to be sorted into Slytherin, because that would just make everything true. And it is. And that still hurts a bit, especially when my brother won't talk to me. And doesn't seem to want to be my brother if I'm not in Gryffindor. So I asked the hat to sort me in Gryffindor because I thought that it would be easier. But it turns out it's not easy either way.
It's not. And I won't pretend that it is. I found it difficult. But I will say the hat's opinion isn't what put me in Gryffindor. And also, the house I was in didn't make my experience. It didn't make me who I am. It didn't give me the friends that I have. That I still have. My time in Gryffindor was made by the people around me and by the choices that I made. And that's irrespective of house. You are where you need to be. I am where I needed to be, and I'm sure the same is true of you as well.
Thank you, Professor.
That's all right. It's one of the benefits to having been through the whole experience. I know what it can be like. Anyway, you should probably go, because otherwise you will be late, and I don't want you having house points deducted, no matter how much it would probably benefit Gryffindor.
I don't know if your house is going to catch up, Professor. Sorry for my saying. You're a little behind.
We are a bit behind, but careful.
Maybe I should have been sorted in Gryffindor.
Yeah, maybe. All right, I will see you later for our sojourn onto the edge of the forest. And
Right. Shannon says hello before I go.
Oh, lovely.
Yes.
Well, thank you very much. I'll no doubt see him later on. We have a shipment of exotic plants coming over from the European coast, so I'm hoping that we might be able to sort through them. He's yeah, I mean, the only person that I've seen have nearly the aptitude for plants is his sister, who's, I mean, evidence today, absolutely incredible. As were you, Miss Le. Anyway, I'm keeping you. Go.
Bye, Professor, and thank you again.
I just should probably check if the fire department's still around, because you keep burning Gryffindor to the ground.
I, a Gryffindor, am in pain.
If there's any Gryffindor people in chat, they could help that out, but it doesn't look like they want to.
Hey, hello, fellow Gryffindors. Did you know you could still donate to charity and help your health?
A little 10 right next to the 120 is just...
It's sad. It's really very sad.
So the rest of the day continues. Is there anything that you want to do before either supper or before meeting with Professor Longbottom after dinner?
Can I go watch the Quidditch stuff? And I invite anyone who wants to come with me to come watch the Quidditch stuff, because that was up until supper, I think. So
What teams are going to be there?
I think isn't it just Shannon and his team, Ravenclaw team, practicing?
Yes, so it's just Ravenclaw practicing at the Quidditch pitch. Yeah.
Yep, I'd love to go.
Yeah, that would be cool. So
I think Magnus will stay back, probably grab Vlad and get some Vlad time in.
Okay.
All flat time.
So, for expediency's sake, you go and watch the Quidditch practice, and you begin to get a sense of the ebb and flow of matches. You get a sense of the different roles, so you understand that there is a keeper, there is a seeker, and there are bludgers. Sorry, not bludgers, there are beaters, and you sort of get to understand the various balls as well. The golden one with wings that you saw on the first day of tryouts, the snitch. You understand the quaffle is the main ball that is passed around, and the terrifying iron bludgers that shoot around the pitch, often entirely indiscriminate of what and who they hit. It is akin to hardcore baseball, all-rounders for Ezra and Dot, respectively. But this continues, and Magnus, you and Vlad are able to spend much of the afternoon before supper together, before eventually everyone communes in the Great Hall. And another amazing feast is sent up to you. And Dot and Magnus, you can't help but notice a few, as your plates materialize with food, there are a couple of extra things in there as well. A couple of what look to be small gingerbread men off to one side on your plates. I say gingerbread men. They are very large-eared gingerbread elves that just materialize on your plate. But over supper, unless there is anything anyone wants to do or discuss.
I would like to talk to V for a second.
Mm-hmm.
Hey V, I know the others weren't taking you seriously about potentially the person being in the statue, and if you want to check that out, maybe we can like bring some stuff to clean it and see if he's there.
Yeah, we could bring a hammer, nails, and something. And
We'll start a little gentler, and then we'll kind of see how it
Acetone.
goes. And I will bring here, I'll write it down. So acetone, and I just kind of scribble it out as like, don't do that. Some soap and some water, and then we can test it. I don't want you to think your ideas were silly, because I think all ideas are great, and the pictures talk here, so there could be a person in there, and I
that's
think
exactly what I was thinking.
I think we should look.
I feel like magic could be crazy in a million ways, but I would go to the statue with you.
We'll make it a point at some time to go check it out. I'll make a little list of things, and then we'll go peek. We'll save hammer and nails very end.
Okay.
Question marks.
If you were a statue, would your hair still be there? How does hair work for statue?
How does hair work? We'll figure it out.
Okay.
Okay.
Oh yeah, let's do that. Thanks, Ezra.
Of course.
I want to lean over to Dot and be like, so did you really like watching practice today?
Yeah, I thought it was really cool. I don't know what position I'd want to be on though when I apply. I don't know.
Oh my gosh,
they all
if
look
my
fun.
parents allow it, I would really like to try out. I want to be a beta.
Really?
Nothing better than just whacking something.
But then aren't you hitting people with those? That doesn't really seem like you.
I mean, I'm not technically hitting them. The bludger is.
I guess. I feel like I'd be happy to do anything except Keeper. I mean, the Keeper was really good. I think I would get antsy. I think I'd like to be like a chaser or a seeker, but I feel like the seeker that seems to be like important and hard to get, so.
Well, you are important. I think that you'd be great for that.
Thanks. I think you'd be a really good beater as well.
Thank you. I don't think Shannon would like it, but it's fine. If I make it, I make it.
What you do is you do it, and then you'll be really good at it, and then he'll have to like it because you're just so good at it, and you're getting so many points.
Exactly, and he wouldn't have to feel like he has to protect me anymore because I can just beat someone up.
Exactly. I would also like to be reading while over supper. I'd like to be reading. I was trying to scramble and find like a book that I might own. Just one of the books that are magical that teach you about spells. I just happen to be reading that at the table. I haven't got the name because I suck. I'm sorry.
No, that's okay. So you finish up your dinner as you pour and pour over as much reading material as you can until eventually you all head towards the courtyard where you can see now the sky is getting darker as the moon begins to lift into the night sky. And as you stand there, you're joined by Amar, who comes over and, oh, hi Magnus, hi Dot.
Hi.
And eventually Professor Longbottom comes deep in conversation with an older, you presume 7th year student, as he goes, right, lovely. Well, if you bring me that tomorrow, Xenope, and yeah, wonderful. No, thank you. Hi, everyone. Right, are we ready to go to the Forbidden Forest?
Yeah, do we need to prepare anything, or...?
No, not at all. Just make sure you step close to me. We will be going down to Hagrid's hut, and he'll be showing us where... We're trying to collect a couple of things today, but chief amongst them are bubo tubers. They're slug-like plants that smell like petrol.
Bubo tubers, okay.
Reference not all of you will understand. Right, come on, let's go.
I noticed Sissy looking a little nervous, and I just edged close to her.
I have a question. My brother told me that students let go some of their pets in the Forbidden Forest. Is that true? As we're walking.
Well, it's not official policy, I don't think, but I know that it has been known to happen, and Hagrid, he often makes it his point of interest to look out for any such creatures and potentially make sure they're doing all right in the woods. Often keeping them away from, some of the more dangerous creatures that live out in the woods.
Like what, Professor?
For one, giant spiders are known to congregate quite intensely around the centre. Also wolves as well. You're probably getting a fairly good understanding of why it's called the Forbidden Forest. Yeah, like I say, we will be keeping to the edges of the forest, so just don't delve too deeply. And as you continue walking along the cobblestone path, ahead of you, you see the dark edges of the vast Forbidden Forest, its twisting trees and thick undergrowth giving way to seemingly impregnable mist within. And you turn around and the castle is slowly disappearing into the distance. But a mere stone's throw away from where the Forbidden Forest stands, you see a small stone hut with a conical roof. Small steps lead up to its very large door, and through its bottle glass windows, you can see a flicker of firelight from within. And next to the hut, you see sits a small, compact pumpkin patch, and standing within this, eating what looks to be the remains of a dead ferret, you see a very large, majestic-looking, winged creature, with the back legs of a horse and the head of an eagle, its bright eyes shining underneath grey feathers. And as you walk past it, it just raises its head and cocks it. And Professor Longbottom, hello, Buckbeak. And he just bows quite low, almost comically so before rising. Right then, everyone, I'll let Hagrid know we're here and we can get going. Don't get too close to Buckbeak.
Can I try and do what is inspiring others do? It gives them like a +4 or something, right?
Let me check. So inspire is yeah, you can basically choose a thing that you want to do. So you can give +1 to body, mind, or heart.
Can I... Body, mind, or heart? Can I have been talking to Sissel about how clever and stuff she was in Herbology and stuff as we were walking? Because I noticed she was nervous about the forest, and can I roll to inspire her? I don't know for what, though. Can she pick?
Yeah, so if you roll and then basically you can choose. I also realised with all of the failed rolls this session, we've not been keeping tabs of experience.
I have 3 boxes again, so...
Okay, we will...
I've been marking mine too.
Cool. Awesome.
I have not.
Okay, we'll tally that up. That's fine.
We'll tally it. Okay. 8.
8, so you can choose one of the following. So +1 to body, +1 to mind, or +1 to heart.
What would you like, Sissel?
Let's do +1 to body because I have -2 there.
Okay, so yeah, I give Sissy +1 to body. I tell her how cool she is and how smart she is with the plants as you were walking and Magnus was talking about the abandoned kitties and pets.
Oh my god. And Sissel's heart through 3 sizes.
So, as you stand there and Professor Longbottom walks over, you see that as he approaches the door, that off to one side sits a rather large pile of rocks with some fresh flowers on and a small wooden plaque that simply reads, Fang, a good boy. And Professor Longbottom walks over to the door and and there is a, all right, come in. And the door opens and you just hear a booming, all right, Neville. And then coming round the corner, just seeing all of you stood there, Professor Longbottom. Hi, Hagrid. We're here about the Bobo tubers on behalf of Professor Young. Oh, of course. Right. Let me just grab my coat. Hello, students.
Hello.
And eventually, Hagrid steps out, and you see him don a very long brown coat with his wild hair everywhere and his beard very, very matted. And he comes over to all of you. All right. We're all of you enjoying your first week. So.
Yes. Hi, I'm Dot, by the way.
Lovely to meet you, Dot. And what about the rest of you? My name is Hagrid.
My name is Ezra, and I have been enjoying it. It's a lot, and is it? You're very tall. Is that rude to say?
No,
I've
not
never
at all.
seen somebody.
No, it's very much a sense of pride on my behalf. So, no, very nice to hear. Thank you very much. And you're a Lennox boy, right?
What gave it away, Professor?
The hair, the scowl, and you're Shannon's sister, right?
It's me. I'm Sissel. It's nice to meet you again. Saw you at the train.
Yes, of course. I imagine you will have seen me. I probably haven't seen you yet. And what about you?
I'm Violet, but just call me V, just the letter. I only want to be one letter. When are you going to teach us how to ride a spider?
I would recommend steering clear of the spiders around the forest.
I want to ride the spiders.
Do you now? All right. Well, perhaps we might find time. And Professor Longbottom steps in and, maybe that's something we can save for another day. Oh, right. And he just gives you a big wink, and we'll save that. Right. You wanted Bobo tubers this way. Now, make sure you stay near the edges. Mine don't stray too far. We've had a lot of strange activity since the start of term.
Can I walk next to Hagrid, like kind of out of earshot of others? And are you the Care of Magical Creatures teacher?
Why? Yes, I am. I'm the groundskeeper.
Speaking of the train, whenever I got off and I saw the other students going to these carts, something was invisible pulling them, right?
Right, yes.
May I ask what?
Yeah, of course. Those are the thestrals, winged creatures flying around. Every so often, I I go in and feed them in the Forbidden Forest. It's where they tend to congregate.
You can see them.
And you see his eyes grow sad for a moment as he... Oh,
Yes. Yes, I can.
I can see them too. Can not everybody see them?
Well, no.
Why?
Usually those that have been around death
Oh.
are the ones who can see them.
Thank you for answering. And she kind of gets quiet and walks behind him.
And the rest of you see Sissel just fall back towards you. And you see Amar is looking in the direction of Buckbeak and sort of very, very interested, turning to the rest of you. That's the first time I've seen a hippogriff.
What
Wait.
What is a hippogriff?
What is it?
Well, I mean, Magnus, do you want to?
Well, Buckbeak back there, hippogriff. It's got like the face of a bird. Gosh, I can't really remember what parts it was. It's got wings, it can fly, you can ride them. But
What?
they also have a nasty bite. You don't want to make one mad.
Have you ever met a hippogriff then, Magnus?
No, children's stories though were read to me when I was a kid.
Cool.
Why did Professor Bao, when we got close to Mr. Beak?
Buckbeak.
Is it one word? Is it like a surname? I don't.
It's like how my cat's name is Alpine.
Okay.
Buckbeak.
Okay. It looked like it wanted respect, and I didn't want to call
Yes.
it not. I thought Mr. Beak would be right.
Well, if you're going to approach
I like Mr.
a
Beak.
hippogriff, you should bow.
Bow.
Yes.
What else do you know
Bow
about
to
hippogriffs?
Mr.
Do they
Beak.
eat things? What do they eat, Magnus?
Bow to Mr. Beak.
Well, I assume they eat meat, so probably don't want to get too close if you're not going to bow. But I only know from children's stories. I've never met one myself.
Okay.
You've never met a children?
No. The a buckbeak.
A hippogriff.
Oh.
Oh,
The Mr. Beak guy.
Mr. Beak.
Yeah. Well,
Yeah.
thanks,
Yes.
Amar, for telling us about the hippogriffs.
No, that's okay. It's just like usual. You see one. It's a pet.
Should we get a ride one of those?
I mean,
I think we should stay away from Mr. Beak and respect Mr. Beak. So I don't know.
Respect him if I don't get on top of him.
You could. I love
This is where
respecting women.
We're actually 11.
We're 11. It's fine. It's fine. It's fine. It's fine. It's fine.
We're all 11 here.
We're 11. The actors can laugh, but the kids don't know. Jeez. Well, I mean, you can respect a horse and still ride a horse. So if people ride hippogriffs, then you should be allowed to ride a hippogriff. Amar,
Yeah, I
do
just
people ride them?
want to ride one.
Let's ask Hagrid, V. We'll make sure to ask.
Okay, because I want to get on one of the animals that I would like to do that.
Just spell Bella.
I can't do words anymore. I can't. I'm sorry. Okay. Okay. I just, the second I said it, I just was like, why the? I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. I'm 11. I'm
Well,
11.
see,
11.
I know that Care of Magical Creatures is quite a fun class. My brother liked it quite a lot, so maybe.
We'll ask Hagrid, and then we can.
Yeah, we'll ask
we can go for-
Hagrid about
because-
everything we don't know.
Because it's like how Bunny is your pet. This is this is Hagrid's pet, so we have to ask Hagrid and ask Mr. Beak, and then we can find out.
Yeah, you can ask him and I'll be quiet. I should do that more, maybe.
I love you, Bee.
As you continue walking, Dot, you, inquisitive as you are, start to hear voices out of the corner of your ear. And turning around, you hear that Professor Longbottom and Hagrid are deep in conversation, whispering to one another, or as much as Hagrid can whisper. He has quite a reverberating voice. And you hear Professor Longbottom going, "So, how do you mean strange?" "Well, Ferenz says that the Center's been particularly territorial this last month. Something in the forest seems to have spooked him. And Buckbeak too, hadn't got near the woods since, well, since the start of term. Even Gromp seems scared. Here we are," and comes to a stop at the edge of the forest, and you see thick undergrowth all across, and Hagrid turns around to all of you. "Right, so you'll be wanting to look for large slug-like plants. They smell pretty bad, and they have small white pockets all over them, but best way is to try and drag them up from the roots. Quite slippery, so you'll want to cut them at the base. I have knives for you all." And with that, he reaches into his coat and brings out some small, fairly sharp hunting knives and passes them around to all of you. And Professor Longbottom goes, "Okay, just be careful with them all. Don't stray too far. Just stay on the edges. And if you need any help, just call out. All right? If all of you want to stick together as much as possible."
All right.
Ezra, we could use the knife on the statue later.
Okay.
Cut it open.
I'll knife on statue.
Let's just take the biggest knife. Don't let Dot or Magnus or Sissy get the biggest knives. Just
Be
get 'em.
real quick. Don't hold the knife. The blade
Do
up.
this.
No. Hey, how about this? Okay. I
Go
hold
crazy.
it, and then if I can hold it, we can have one to do this, and then one for later that we can use on the statue.
Okay. You can have it,
Okay.
but make sure that you're always doing stab motions.
Okay.
Fun and it's cool.
I'll write it down so you can stab motions.
If Ezra ever loses that notebook, it's over.
So, what are all of you doing as you go out in search of bubo tubers?
I am thinking over how I heard that the center is very territorial and even the grown-ups are scared, which is what I thought I heard Hagrid say. And she is looking very dedicatedly for the tubers. Do I have to roll anything for that?
Yeah, I'll see everyone generally make a general mind check.
Okay.
That's about right. Or, mind. Yeah, everyone's
Or body? Can I have body? Okay.
Oh, mine.
I'll just mark that experience again, shall I? It's great.
Yeah, let me mark mine.
I almost have full experience again. I'm leveling up every session. I'm gonna cry.
One more fail, and I'm leveling up.
Yeah, same.
Wait, this is body you said?
No, it's mine.
Mine.
Mine. Okay, so you have to.
As you're searching around for... Okay. So, as you continue looking through, you are able to find a number of different slug-like plants that stick out of the ground with long sort of green leaves at their base. And going around, you begin cutting these up, and they are very sticky and smell quite a bit. As you continue this, and as the moon continues overhead, Ezra, you see something out of the corner of your eye, deeper into the forest. At first, it seems as though it's a trick of the very, very bright moonlight above, and you think nothing more of it. But as you look up, you can see something moving through the trees. And if you didn't know any better, it would be a silvery shape. And Sissel, as you stand there as well, and you notice Ezra looking out into the forest, you note this as well, and the shape seems almost humanoid in nature. Sorry, Ezra, you go.
Okay, we're not in the forest, so things can't get us while we're outside of the forest, right, Sissy?
Oh, that's not right at all.
Okay, there's something there. It's like looking back at us, and they're kind of shiny, and it almost looks like a person, but like people aren't shiny. Do you see it?
I do. How far is everybody away from us? Like, where are they located?
You're sort of like within, I would say, whispering distance of one another, within 5 feet at most.
Okay. We should definitely alert everybody, because I think it's coming fast.
Oh, V, come here, V.
And I
Okay, are we gonna knife
professors?
You see that
your V's close by.
the professors are stood off to one side near the pumpkin paddock, around a stone's throw away from you are, as you all sort of gather together. Amar as well coming over.
Turn around. There's something right there. And
Is
I don't know what
everybody
to do.
here? Am I
Oh.
here also? I'm confused.
Yeah.
We're all here.
Okay.
I turn around. What do I see?
I also turn around. What do I see?
Silvery figure coming through the trees.
So I will say, as both Ezra and Sissel point through the trees, you see a shape moving through, not towards you, not away. In fact, it is hard to tell where it is moving at all. But it moves. It is small and silvery, with short limbs. It looks almost like a person, but it is hard to make out their features. They simply seem to be walking up and down and up and down in the same spot, before standing still and just looking around the trees.
Do I recognize it from any of the dogged reading I've been doing?
Make
A mind roll?
yeah, a mind roll, yeah.
8.
You don't recognize what it is, but you recognize who. The girl that is standing deep in the woods is Sissel.
As in Sissel Anya?
As in your friend Sissel Anya, who is stood next to you all.
I think is it just me that knows that?
You are the only one who has noticed this at this point, yes.
I'm just gonna look over at Sissel and just sort of like, just randomly just like touch her on the shoulder.
Are you okay?
Are you okay?
I mean, not really.
Okay, just
It's-
don't.
I-
Okay,
that's
just
terrifying.
don't freak out. Don't freak out. Just you're about to do something,
Stop,
and I
that's
need you to
going to
not.
make me freak out.
Okay, well you're about to do something, and you need to not scream or anything. If like look really carefully, like just look really carefully in the forest, and tell me what you see that as, that thing.
Do I roll for this?
I would say, with Dot pointing out to you, you look through the trees and you see your face looking back at you.
That's me.
What?
Why is that me?
No one scream or anything, but there's a clone of Sissy in the forest.
That's what the shiny thing is?
Yeah.
Magnus,
But I've been with you this whole time, Sissy, so I don't know how.
Magnus, is this normal? Is this a forest thing?
I don't think Magnus knows everything about every magic thing ever, including clones, okay?
Maybe you have another sister you never knew about. can go say hi.
No, V.
How about I go over there and say hello? I can bring my knife.
V, I have your
Just
knife,
in
and we have to
case they
check on
get
the
testy with
statues.
me.
We gotta make sure we got the statue.
Sissel's not hearing this around her. She's like got tunnel vision now.
As
She's in her head.
the conversation continues around you, Sissel, you watch as this silvery facsimile of yourself turns and begins to walk deeper into the woods.
Do I feel compelled to follow it?
Make a straight mind move for me. You do.
What is she doing?
Okay, while they're talking, I'm walking.
Hey, Sissy, maybe don't. I think we need to not. We're not allowed in the forest.
Let's not follow the clone of ourselves.
I continue.
I grab Sissy physically by like the shoulders. So do I have to roll for that?
Yeah, make a struggle check.
Okay.
yeah.
I'm not trying to hit you. I'm just trying to like hold you really still.
No, save me!
I'm so annoyed.
You
I don't get anything forward because you're the one person I haven't had a +1 with yet. Dang it. Okay. So
no.
just straight body. No! I'm gonna level up again! Are you serious?
Well,
You reach out and Sissel continues walking deeper and deeper.
Sissel, get back here.
I cast I cast the Petrificus Totalis.
Okay.
1 second. Dot's panicking. I give up. That's it. Bye-bye.
The V of
I'm
this
done
episode.
rolling. I'm done rolling. Bye-bye now.
So you take a condition, and I will say that as you
Oh no.
put the spell out and you try and cast Petrificus Totalis, you feel your arm seize up and it just goes stiff around the wand, and you can't move it from the shoulder down. And I will say that you are injured, -2 to body, as your arm just lies stiff at your side. And Sissel continues walking deeper and deeper into the forest.
Sissel, one more time, come back.
Why don't we just go with her? We can't let her go out by
Maybe we should get a
herself.
teacher.
Ezra kind of panics and tries to cast
Ed won't let us do this forever.
Locomotor Mortis out of sheer panic and hearing that spell once before, attempts to cast it. Is that...
Yeah, go for it. Roll 2d6 with magic. So what does the spell do? Sorry.
Oh dang.
Sticks legs
Legs
together.
It's 6 legs together.
So, Sissel, as you walk, you just feel your legs just slam shut, and for a moment you just stand there, unable to move, as you watch this other version of yourself walk deeper and deeper into the forest. What are the rest of you doing?
I don't know. Did she fall or is she standing straight up?
I'd say probably still standing. She's just stood with her legs together.
Ezra, she's not going to be able to walk now for hours.
That's... What?
That gives us time
That's
to
okay.
get a teacher.
And we're...
Who's the fastest one here? Can someone find Hagrid?
Me? And I guess
Run
with
as fast as you can.
with my very stiff arm that I can't move, I'm gonna run as fast as I can to Hagrid.
Sort of flailing behind you as you run. You come to Professor Longbottom and Hagrid as they stand there. And as they do so, you just hear Hagrid, strange glowing. All right, you found
If you back it over there's a silver monster in the forest, and my friend started to walk into the forest and we couldn't stop her, and the monster looks just like her, and my arm really hurts and I couldn't help her.
All right. Professor Longbottom, and Neville just looks at him and runs off into the forest in the direction of Sissel, his wand drawn, and Hagrid kneels down in front of you. All right, don't worry. I'll tell you what, I'll get you a nice
nice warm drink, and don't worry, there are worse things happening in the Black Lake, you know. Come on, come with me. And he calls over to the rest of you. The rest of you, let's grab something to drink in my hut.
I go with Hagrid.
The rest of you. Yes, sorry, Jordan.
Go ahead.
You first.
Okay, I'm kind of torn between going with Hagrid and staying because I feel terrible for the panic spell that I did to Sissy, and I feel like Sissy's gonna be really mad at me. So I'm kind of lingering between the two groups. Unless
Ezra, we can't leave Sissy. That's mean. You made her legs into jello.
I don't.
It's a big old
Well, all the
thing.
students are going inside the hut, and Neville ran into the forest after the figure, right? Just
How did we get Sissy though?
Yeah, how did
in place.
You watch
Legs.
as Neville is standing next to Cecil as he just looks around with his wand.
okay.
And as he stands there, he turns to you, Cecil. Are you all right?
Kind of hear his voice, and I'm just like, what happened to my legs?
I'm sorry. And he looks over as Ezra just sort of mouths this.
Why would he do that to my legs? That's not nice.
Perhaps, do you mind if I guide you as you hop back? It's probably wise if we get to the edge of the forest.
Yeah.
All right.
And I start hopping.
All right, everyone. Follow Hagrid, and we'll get this all sorted out.
Hey.
Ezra,
Yeah.
that was kind of bad to do, but it was really funny.
No, don't
It was
laugh.
so funny. You could do it to my legs later, and I have the knives still. For the statue.
Okay, well let's hide the knives. Maybe
And it
we'll
was kind of
practice this.
funny.
We'll get some pillows in case you fall. But I feel so bad. I didn't know what to do, and I hope Sissy's not mad at me.
You're too nice all the time with your little scribbly notebook. It's fine. We'll fix her. Let's go. It was funny.
Sometimes bad is funny, Ezra writes down.
So, are any of you doing anything before going into Hagrid's hut?
Dot's just like crying a lot and is having like a little mini like frustration tantrum.
So, as you all leave the Forbidden Forest, as you head into Hagrid's hut and the door closes behind you, far away on the waters of the Black Lake, everything is calm, almost silent. Soft ripples lap against the shore as stars sparkle down from the night sky above, and in the distance the sound of a heron cry can be heard, and reeds brush softly against one another. And standing against the shoreline, as bright as the sky is dark, stands a simple, white stone tomb, unmarked and smooth. And in the night, a shadow passes across it before a hand comes to rest upon the tomb's surface. It sits there a moment, almost in reverence, before pulling out a dark wand, and a soft voice speaks. I am sorry, Professor. Placing the tip of the wand upon the stone coffin, it slides open gently, delicately, until finally the lid falls gently to the ground without a sound. Inside, wrapped in gossamer sheets, lies a body, almost perfectly preserved. A long, silvery beard and a charmingly hooked nose, and peaceful eyes closed. And in clasped fingers, a wand. From above, the figure reaches in and slides it out of the corpse's hands. And there is a respectful full silence before, with a flick of their wand, the figure once more returns the lid to its resting place.
And there is a moment as they weigh the two wands in their hands, as they hold the second of the Deathly Hallows, the Elder Wand. And after a minute's silence, the figure turns and looks towards Hogwarts Castle, its lights glinting in the dark. I truly am so very sorry. And that is where we are going to end this week's session.
Oh, is it? Great!
Oh
Yay.
Oh my god, that was so good. I hate you, Ed. I'm stressed.
so stressed.
I'm stressed. I'm so glad we got you back, Ed. Jeez, that session was killer. Oh my